What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 52 of C4SVillains. I am your host JB and I am here as always with two members of the Council of Villains, my boys Abe and Steve, and making his triumphant return. Abe, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Villains.
Let's go! I'm back, baby. I'm fucking back, baby. I'm fucking back, baby.
Good to have you back, bro.
All that energy. He is back.
Yes, the Prince of Darkside is finally back. No more shit hotel internet. He's back finally.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. While I was on my pilgrimage, I was doing my thing like Riddick. You feel me? I learned some new things, gained some new names. So I'm, the Son of Darkside is for sure valid, but nowadays I also go by the Mad Prince. I go by the Twitch Lawyer. I've been busy. I haven't been hibernating. I've been busy, but it's good to be back home. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
At least one of my homes.
Steve, thank you so much for holding down the fort with Vash. Last week, you guys did a great job.
Very interested. Yeah, we tried to hold it down. You know what I'm saying? We're not as hype, as Abe, but you know what I'm saying? We keep it mellow and chill, you know what I'm saying? Hold it down real quietly and peacefully.
Not the locks locking, baby. Not the locks locking. Okay. All right, yeah. But word, good shit, yo.
Yeah, man, we got a jam-packed show for you guys. We're going to be talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series finally has a release date. Can't wait for that. Russell Crowe is joining Kraven the Hunter movie. That's going to be really interesting. And Anthony Ramos is joining Ironheart. And then we're going to be talking about breaking down all of Peacemaker episode 7. So let's just dive into it. Let's just get straight into the news. First piece of news, Obi-Wan Kenobi series debuts on May 25th. I am so excited for this. We definitely have to review this series. We know Hayden Christensen is going to be in that series as well. So we're going to get yet another live action fight, hopefully, between Obi-Wan and Vader. Can't wait for that shit. So Abe, I'm going to toss it to you first. Like, what are your thoughts on Obi-Wan in general? And are you excited for this release date being so soon?
Look, y'all, for those who actually know me, I do go by the moniker Son of Darkside, right? Darkside is my Lord and Savior. He's Alpha and Omega, literally, right? But there's another character who I swear allegiance to. His name is Darth Vader. All hail the Sith. And the fact that I will be able to see Darth Vader again. Oh, we ain't gotta say nothing but a word. I've been keeping up with a lot of my watches these last couple months, but when we talk about seeing Darth Vader, you ain't gotta say nothing but a word. Baby. I'm in there. I'm excited. I'm hyped. We in there.
Yeah, man. I'm also excited for Hayden Christensen to get like another shot at playing Anakin and actually getting to play Vader, because technically he hasn't done that full on Vader, besides when he murdered the younglings.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Order 66. Let's go.
But Steve, what about you?
I am more hyped than I've ever been, because if you guys know, yesterday I was on Popaholics for Book of Boba Fett review. So the entire week, you guys know how I do whenever somebody asks me to be a guest, I go overboard with homework. So this whole week, I just binged Star Wars. Like any type of Star Wars stuff, I binged it over and over. And the only thing that I didn't end up watching was Clone Wars. But I'm excited to see this. And to JB's point, I really enjoy Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. A lot of people didn't like him for some reason. Don't know why. I really enjoyed them, but again, I joined the Star Wars thing until when I was 25.
Who ain't like Hayden Christensen?
There's a lot of people that don't like him.
There's a lot of people, bro.
There's a lot of people that don't like Hayden.
I'm new to this.
There's a lot.
My love for him have clearly blinded out all the hate, because this is my first time ever hearing anything negative said about that role.
Because I'm right in the middle, right? Like I don't like all of his choices that he made in the prequel trilogy, in like the last two movies, but I don't blame him. I blame George Lucas.
Oh yeah, blame
I
the man.
blame I blame Lucas for his terrible dialogue and the way he directs actors. Just do it faster with more emotion. What the fuck does that mean, George? Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I hear you on the dialogue thing, but when you go back and watch, it's dialogue for everybody. Everybody's dialogue.
Oh yeah, it's a George Lucas problem.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
So again, I'm not really understanding why people hate Hayden. I'm seeing why they may dislike the writing, but that
remember, general audiences can't make the distinction.
They can
it's like they see him saying the dialogue, he's doing all of these things, so it must be all of his decisions, right? Yeah. General audiences don't know.
Same way with Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. People
but them motherfuckers switched up after No Way Home. They switched up, and all of a sudden they were like, "Yeah, it was writing."
That's how it was with the prequel trilogy. Everyone switched up. When the prequel trilogy came out, everyone fucking hated him. But then as years passed, now all of a sudden everyone loves him now.
They're excited for him to come back. And see, I started watching later on, and like I was 25 when I watched my first Star Wars anything. So I was really late to the game. So everything that was coming out, I was like, this is great. And everybody was like, no, you're tripping. And I'm like, I was like, I don't have the rose-colored glasses everybody got, because to me, everything that's coming out, I'm liking it. So I didn't understand why they hated Hayden Christensen. I couldn't understand at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's because of the writing, and they just blame him like it was his decision to make these dialogue choices. Like the scene about when he's talking about sand. I'm like, George, why? Why am I talking about sand being coarse in my underwear? Why
not y'all haters getting mad about the sand as if he was like, yo, George, we putting this in the motherfucking script. We're going to do this shit right here.
You know what a really hit?
Deal with it.
You know what a really hit if we talked about the sand in my underpants.
Yeah, it's just, and then like it's the any issues with the prequels, it's all on George. But I am very, very excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm very excited for the showrunner, the directors that are attached to it. So I can't wait. May 25th. We're right there. It's going to be an incredible series. Can't wait to see where it goes from there. Let's move on to our next news topic. Russell Crowe has officially joined the cast of Kraven the Hunter. Now, this makes me pretty excited. You got Aaron Taylor Johnson in the role of Kraven the Hunter. Very excited for that. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a really, really good actor, and I know he's going to kill this shit. Now, with Russell Crowe, we don't know what role he's going to play, but Russell Crowe's an incredible actor. Anything you put him in, he steals the show. So, the thing is, and I'm kind of putting you guys on the spot, and it's completely okay if you don't have any ideas, but who do you think he could possibly play, and are you excited for him being in the movie?
No idea who he's playing. Excited to find out, but they put in Mr. Gladiator himself. Woo, boy! He about to show out. I'm excited. I'm excited that we're getting a Kraven the Hunter movie, because I know for a lot of big Spidey fans, this is just another step into expanding the Spider-Verse, because we do have the Madam Web, John, we've gotten updates about that. So it's just like, whoo, it's the year of the Spider, baby. It's the era of the Spider. That's what we in. So I'm definitely excited by that. Russell Crowe, that's a big name. That's a big name for this film. So I'm really curious to see what Sony does with it, how it's going to connect to the overall, Spider-Verse that they've been creating and that they've been working on. I know we've had our own criticisms about Sony for a while, especially when it comes to the MCU. But look, the Spider-Man trilogy has been, the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy has been A1, from top to bottom. People like Venom. Me, myself, I still haven't watched it because I don't think it's good enough for me to pay for, but I'll peep it because, you bring in Carnage. And then,
they're a lot of fun.
We get more symbiotes, and then, we get the Life Foundation really cooking out here. Then we get to see all different types of Venomized and Carnageized. That's not a word, but I'm going to make it a word right now. Type of heroes and villains. I'm excited because I'm looking forward to the Red Goblin. But back to Russell Crowe. Congrats, baby. I'm excited to see what you got going on.
Oh, yeah. Steve, what about you?
I as well have no idea what role he could possibly be playing. I'm excited to see him though. Like I'm just like, okay, well, we're gonna get Russell Crowe on screen in a superhero movie because I don't think he's been a part of any of the universes yet, right? Um,
No,
has he
not
been
yet,
anything?
but he's gonna be in Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Or
Oh, he is
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. He's gonna be
he's gonna
Zeus.
play Zeus, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, so he's gonna die. He's gonna die. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited to just see what they do with it and everything like that. And then Abe talked about Madam Web. I don't even know how they're gonna do a Madam Web movie. Like, I don't understand how that's gonna be a whole hour 45 to 2 hour movie because most of the time she sits in a chair.
Yeah,
So I'm trying
you
to
and
see how
Vash
that's
talked
gonna work.
about this last week, but there's been more than one iteration of Madam Web. There's one that's a lot younger. I can't remember. It's Cassandra Webb, I believe, or I'm probably thinking of the other one. But there's a younger version of Madam Web. Still not sure, what they're gonna do with this movie, but
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
whole Spider Verse thing that's going on that they're building, and I've even read like that. Even though it was a fake news thing, but it was interesting to hear that they're thinking about doing a whole 3-man Spider-Man movie, like an entire movie with all three of them playing Spider-Man, and they were talking about the villain will be Noel, but I was like, that's not possible. You're gonna need more than just Spider-Man, the three
right.
Spider-Mans to be Noel. I was like, so they're gonna nerf the shit out of that if that is
Oh no, don't do
And
that.
you
Don't do
can't.
that. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
I'm
Don't
like,
do that.
yeah, Null was around before the Celestials,
Yeah. I
so
mean, he is the father of the symbiotes. You gonna nerf the father of the symbiote? Nah, don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
even speak that. Don't I
I
don't
mean, that's the thing. They
I'm
nerf
glossing over that.
everyone. They
We're
nerf.
moving
They
over.
nerfed
What's
Odin.
next, JB? JB,
Yeah,
what's
they
next?
nerfed
JB, what's
Odin.
next? What's next? Because
Bro,
I won't stand for such blasphemy. What's next?
no. It was a rumor, but there was a lot of like traction on there. I was like, I don't want to see that. But
Yeah.
I could see it with the cash grab of that. Well, this Spider-Man 3 did do really well. Let's try it. So I can see them trying to do something, but not no, please don't.
But
Yeah, definitely not.
there's so much different things you can do. I mean, like with this multiverse now available to you and all the properties that you guys have, you can tell other stories without having to go to Null so soon. Because Null is a
Dude, that's like a
Thanos
Thanos.
level, yeah,
Yeah.
Thanos level threat. I mean, like you can't
Bigger.
just you gotta build up to that, John.
I think.
And we haven't seen enough of the symbiotes yet for you to justify. All right, let's drop Null in there. I'm gonna need a couple. I'm gonna need a couple of Red Goblin, activity. Some more carnage in that bitch. Let's see some more Venom doing his thing, and then we can discuss Null. But don't rush that shit.
Yeah, that would have to be a Avenger level threat.
Yeah, because I mean, literally, you Red King and Black. You need everybody,
bro.
You got Blade. You got
Literally
the Avengers,
everybody.
You got Namor. Like you need everybody to deal with this shit. So don't do that.
He made light work of the Silver Surfer, that, and I was like, yo.
Right? You need Fantastic Four for
What
the fuck?
He made light work of. I was like, there's no way that they're gonna do Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire and think this is enough to beat. No, I was like, no way.
Yeah,
But I've seen worse. I saw Dragon Ball Evolution. I've seen worse.
Stop. Next piece of news, Anthony Ramos is joining the Ironheart series in a secret role. Now, I'm not that familiar with Anthony Ramos. I don't think I've actually seen him in anything, but I've only heard good things about him. I heard he was really good in the Heights. He's going to be in the upcoming Transformers movie that they're doing, so I'm excited for his career and where it's going. No idea what character he could be playing, but I'm going to toss it to you guys. Are you familiar with his work? Are you excited for him to be in Ironheart?
I'm gonna make it very simple. Hell no, I don't know who this man is. But hey, he's joining Ironheart. I'm down. I'm excited to see more. He's gonna be in a new Transformers movie. I'm gonna peep that shit. You already know that for a fact. So I'll get familiar with his role for sure. But hey, kudos to the young man getting a secret role. That tells a lot. That clearly tells a lot. He's gonna be probably a mainstay in the future in MCU. So congrats to him. definitely excited for Ironheart. Definitely excited for Transformers, and I hope that he just knocks it out the park for real.
Facts.
Yeah, I know. So Anthony Ramos was in Hamilton, of course, and so he's a Broadway actor. He was with that original Hamilton crew, so he can act. In The Heights, he was really good. He sings, he dances, he does all that. He's also in. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Blind Spotting, but he's in the TV show Blind Spotting in a couple parts. I think
I've
he's
seen the
like
movie, not the show.
yeah, so he's probably in like 2 episodes of Blind Spotting. So I'm familiar with Anthony Ramos. He's a really good actor. Seeing him in it, I'm not sure what he's going to play, but I mean, he's been going really fast. Like just out of nowhere, he's just spiraling. It's kind of like how Jonathan Majors just 3 or 4 years ago, you didn't know who Jonathan Majors was.
Yeah,
and
him and Yaya.
yeah, Yaya too. So he's fast pacing through Hollywood right now. So Anthony Ramos is really good.
Yeah. I'm excited for him. Like you guys already said, like he's jumping into these big franchises, and if he does well, his future is officially set up because he's now in the MCU.
And
If this new Transformers franchise can be good, that's two major billion-dollar franchises that he'll be joining. So I'm very, very excited for him. Hopefully, it all goes well for him.
Yeah.
All right, so last piece of news that I wanted to talk about. So today, Dwayne Johnson released like a minute TV spot that just shows like just some extra looks at some of the movies coming out in the DC universe. So first thing I wanted to bring up here was this image of the Flash. I am absolutely loving this Flash suit. It looks absolutely incredible. It reminds me of Barry's suit from the comics directly after Flashpoint. That's my favorite suit that he's ever had. So I'm really, really excited for that. What did you guys think about the new look at the Flash suit?
I'm gonna keep it real simple. I don't care. I don't care about the Flash anymore. I'm completely over it. It's had too many disappointing seasons for me to be like, hey, let me get excited for something that's happening so many years later. I'm over it.
You did this. I mean, I love the Flash. So that suit really, really was great. As soon as you just showed the suit, I just had to get into my my Thawne background and everything like that. But yeah, man, I was really excited about the suit, and I'm actually liking the little clips where he's not running kind of like wobbly on. So I'm really, really like looking forward to this Flash movie. I want to know what they're going to do with it because it seems like they're going to do Flashpoint, and the way that they're doing the trailer, the little 1 minute trailer, it seemed like they were like thinking about tying this stuff together, which would make.
I thought they were doing Flashpoint. I thought that was a plan.
Well, it's changed too many times. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do Flashpoint. Yeah, we're not gonna do Flashpoint. It's gonna kind of be like Flashpoint. It's been all over the place.
If they do it,
see, this is why I don't give a damn about the shit.
If they do it, this is their chance to, like JB says a lot, this is their chance to retcon everything. They do Flashpoint right now, that would make Robin Pattinson Batman going forward. You can tie all of this together, make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, the other stuff with Ben Affleck was not, canon and stuff like that, and you can just move forward.
I don't want that. I want all of that to be canon, but I want them to use this Flash movie to change the overall narrative of the universe and push it forward. Like, I still want Ben Affleck's Batman to be canon. I want him to, like, Michael Keaton's Batman, he's in another universe. So pretty much how the Flash TV show connected Titans, Doom Patrol, the movies all together. I want this Flash movie to do the same thing, but from a live action, like, movie universe aspect. I think that would be the best thing that they could do. Using Zack Snyder's Justice League, the fact that Barry changed time, that's essentially the Flashpoint event. So you could start it off where everything is different. Well, not everything, but a lot of things are different from this point. Things have changed. He runs to the future. He runs to the past. Like, that's what I want them to do. Like, I want them to erase all of the things that didn't work, keep all of the things that did work, find a way to blend it together and send the DCEU into a really good direction going forward. But I don't know, man. It's a hit and a miss.
Y'all know how much I love DC. I love Marvel a lot. Don't get me wrong again, but y'all know how much I love DC. Y'all know how much I was like, yo, the Flash movie can take care of all the inconsistencies, the discrepancies. It can take care of all of it because that's what Flashpoint is the perfect get out of jail free card.
Yep.
If you whatever you fuck up, hey, we can throw Flashpoint in that bitch and wreck out the whole thing and can't say we fucked up because like, hey, we can now go in a better direction. But Warner Brothers has not given us any sense of confidence. So at this point, I was always raving like, yeah, Flashpoint is coming. Don't worry, they're gonna fix the DCEU. They're gonna fix that shit. Trust me, they're gonna fix it. But it's been how many years? And shit hasn't been fixed. I've given up. I moved on. You know, I'm not gonna die on this hill no more. But I have. There's greener pastures over yonder. I'm gonna head over in that direction, and I'm gonna live my best life. So this movie, this all this John, I could give a shit about anymore.
I hear you, man. Like, until the movie comes out, I hear you. Like, there's no reason to be hype after it's literally changed directors 4 or 5 times, after it's changed writers 4 or 5 times. It's hard to feel confidence having all that information and everything that we've seen from DC before, man. Like, we got Man of Steel, we got Wonder Woman, we got Aquaman. Holy shit. Yeah, I know you're not a... are you a fan of Aquaman, Abe? I can't remember.
I'm the one that's not a fan of Aquaman.
Look, Aquaman 1, aesthetically pleasing for me. Look, y'all have to understand.
I enjoy
Abe
Yaya.
loves being near water. I'm a water baby. You feel me? You got me at the beach, I'm in my element. I'm happy. You got me near a river, I'm happy. Watching Aquaman, beautiful display of marine biology. Beautiful. That's where the buck ends. That's where it stops.
I enjoy Yaya as Black Manta.
Oh yeah, but say Black Panther. Oh
Yeah, that was dope.
Back, my nigga. But that's where it stops. All right. And you already know I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. And so, you know, Aquaman 2 already got me feeling some type of way. So long story short, JB, I didn't really like the movie outside of its aesthetics and Yaya.
Okay. But yeah, like, you gave me these 3 movies that I love so much, and then you make Wonder Woman 1984. You make Justice League. You make the theatrical version of BVS. It's just all over the fucking place. So you never really know. It's like, oh, you got this really good director attached. I really like Andy Muschietti. It Chapter 2, fucking love that movie. He's a great director. I think besides his running, Ezra Miller is a good Flash. I don't think, I've said this a billion times, I don't think his character is really Barry Allen. It's like Barry and Wally like smashed together. But I like what he's doing besides the running, right? So it's like, you give me this really cool formula, but I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I love the Flash. The images that I've seen, like seeing the suit, at DC Fandom, we saw him run back in time. He was right outside of his mother's house.
Oh, he
so
touched
it's like
his mom. On this one, he touched her on the shoulder. I was like, whoa, okay. So he's going to interact with her.
Yeah, so it's like we have all of these really cool elements. Ben Affleck's Batman's in this movie. Michael Keaton's Batman's in this movie. We're getting multiple Flashes. There's Supergirl in this movie. And there still could be a bunch of other people showing up in this movie. So it has the potential to be fucking incredible, but we just have no idea. You know what I mean?
They need to get Jeff Johns and be like, you be our Kevin Feige. Lead us.
See, that could go either way, right? Because just because you're good with comics doesn't mean that you're good with movies, right? So it's like, that could be a great thing, but that could go a completely different way. Because, I mean, dude, Kathleen Kennedy is one of the greatest executive producers in history of film, period. Right? Like, she's worked with the best, Spielberg, Lucas, literally the best her whole career, right? But in her hands, the Disney trilogy, it just fell. Each movie just goes lower and lower and lower, and she no longer needs to be associated with Lucasfilm on this level. I think she should step down as president, and someone else should do it. She's not the right person, right? So it's like everything can come together on paper, but just like, when it comes to the execution, who the fuck knows, right? So let's move on to our first look at the Justice Society. So I thought this was really cool. We got our first look at Dr. Fate. I think the costume looks fucking insane. I love that. Pierce Brosnan looks amazing as Dr. Fate. Then we got Hawkman. I really like this first look at Hawkman.
Bro,
that's really, really fucking dope.
Not gonna lie, I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. He looked really, really good.
Yeah, and then we get our first look at Atom Smasher 2. Then we get our first look at Cyclone. So I'm really, really excited. And of course, we get another look at Black Adam, right? Like, Dwayne looks amazing in the suit. Like, he looks fucking sick. I can't wait for this. This little tease that we got, showed us. I assume this was when, like, he was a slave. And, like, you can tell, like, I can't remember if it's, like, I think it's, like, his son or someone else that's, like, being beheaded or some shit. So we're going to get a lot of stuff with Black Adam. But I don't know how we're going to do Black Adam, the Justice Society, and the villain origins all in like 90 minutes. But what do you guys think?
It's only gonna be 90? No, it's got to be longer than that.
Oh, I have no idea, but movies are generally 90 minutes,
Okay, I was about to say, it got to be longer than that. General thoughts, I'm excited to see it. I mean, right now, at anything superhero-ish, right now, I'm just like, just give it to me. I want to see what we're gonna get into. I'm hoping that everything turns out well. Honestly and truthfully, the Rock's costume looks great, but he's not the most exciting, the person that I'm most excited to see. I'm most excited to see Prince Brosnan as Dr. Fate. So that's really what I'm looking forward to in this movie. I mean, The Rock is going to be The Rock to me. I feel like every movie, he's just going to be Dwayne Johnson in a cape to me. So I'm not really, too much worried about that. And then, but the Hawkman, when he came on screen too, that was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting to see
yeah, I'll pull that back up.
Yeah, that shit was lit when I saw that on the screen. And then I'm actually interested in seeing how they're going to do Cyclone as well. So I'm actually interested in that whole everything around it. And then The Rock just brings in the fans with the name. That's what I'm thinking, in my opinion. I don't feel like he's just going to be amazing as Black Adam to me. I just think he's going to be Dwayne Johnson.
You don't trust Dwayne The Rock Johnson to give us a good portrayal of Black Adam?
He's going to give us Dwayne Johnson in a suit. To me,
you know how accurate you really are.
Okay, I was about to say.
This is my problem, dude. He's actually a really good actor, right? Like, I sing the praises of Snitch. If you want to see a really good movie with Dwayne Johnson acting his fucking ass off, go watch Snitch. It is an incredible film. It's the same director that did Greenland, the disaster movie with Gerard Butler, which I think is like, one of the best like disaster movies ever made. Go check out Snitch if you haven't already. Dwayne can act. You know what I mean? He can act, but he just chooses to be Dwayne the fucking superhero in every goddamn movie. Fast and Furious. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, he's just a fucking superhero all the time.
Maui. He's like, I was like
and when he's not the superhero, you have Scorpion King.
Oof, don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't take us back there.
So Mercenary, that's a really good question. I think we're gonna get the original one from Thanagar, but I have no idea. They haven't like released any other details about Hawkman or any of the other Justice Society members.
My question is, are we gonna get Vandal Savage soon? That's all I care about,
dude. At this point. I hope he's the villain.
Is Vandal Savage coming?
Because if we're starting in like Egyptian times, going into present day, Vandal Savage has been around for millions of years. Having
Vandal Savage, top 5 DC comic villain for me, top 5.
Facts.
Question.
So I hope that. What's up?
Cast Vandal Savage right now.
Don't ask me this shit. Don't ask me questions about fan casting because there's so many talented actors out there that I am not aware of. Like you mentioned, I'm like, I don't know who that motherfucker is. But he apparently he be killing it. So it's just like,
off the top of my head, off the top of my head, one of the first people I always think about is Fassbender. I want him to be Doom, and I think he would be an incredible Vandal Savage.
Nice.
No lie, old boy that was playing Vandal Savage for Legends of Tomorrow, I wouldn't mind him getting another shot at it because I like the whole script. Aesthetic. Yeah, you know, of course, you know, we don't talk about the CW script, but the look, the demeanor, I was like, you can do Vandal well, you know, better script, you can kill it. So I wouldn't mind if they did that, but you know how they be with recasting. I mean, look, they fumbled the bag in my opinion when they decided to make Matt Ryan no longer Constantine. I was like, dude, all right, in that case,
don't even get me started, dude. Like, there's so many issues with those fucking CW shows. Here's Vandal Savage, someone that's been around for literal hundreds of thousands of years, and we're going to remove all of his influence on the DC history, and he's pretty much just in love with some chick. That's his whole motivation for everything that he does in life. He's just in love with some fucking chick. Like, what?
I'm like, he did not raise and destroy civilizations for some punani. Ain't no motherfucking way. Ain't no not my man. Not my man Vandal Savage. No motherfucking way. You are not this weak-minded to risk it all for a woman you know don't love you. Please, I beg. Y'all better than that, too. Y'all better than that. Don't do this now.
Yeah, dude.
I got caught. Go ahead. I was about to say, I got Carl Urban.
I would love that.
As Vandal Savage.
He would do an incredible job, bro.
In my mind, again, the actor that played Vandal Savage in Legends of Tomorrow just looked the right age. Carl Urban, and mind you, I've recently rewatched. I've been rewatching the Chronicle of Riddick series, and you know he's in Chronicles of Riddick. And I'm just like, and then I rewatched Doom a while back, and you know he's in that genre. I'm like, Carl Urban got this look that is like, if you're gonna play a proper Vandal Savage, I couldn't take it seriously. You know, I don't expect it. I don't, and you know his
dude, he was so good in Dread though.
But it's like, as Vandal Savage, I'm like, because Vandal Savage is like a Lex Luthor personality type character. Like they're so in depth, so complex.
Dude, did you think the actor from 2.5 Men would be a good Lex Luthor? He fucking is. Like, he is.
But my thing is, every iteration of Lex that I've seen, I've enjoyed. I really have. Because again, Lex is, and you know, this actually kind of hurts my point because how complex and deep Lex is. Again, Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite motherfucking Lex. Motherfucking hands down. Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville did that man justice. But it's just with Vandal Savage, I mean, he's basically a god. He's an immortal god.
Bro,
Urban,
I can see him playing it. Bro.
Because it's not all about action. Like, you know, you don't make it like Vandal Savage made it by, you know, you gotta be quick thinking. You gotta be on your P's and Q's 10 toes down, you feel me? You gotta be able to plan and be 10 steps ahead. And when I look at Carl Urban,
Butcher.
I don't get that.
Billy Butcher. Billy Butcher's 10 steps ahead every time.
No, but to me, it's like, yo, this man Carl Urban is a man of action. He's a man who's about that action. And I'm like, I don't see him being like, hey, you know, let me chill and stay. Because let's keep in mind, while we talk about Vandal Savage and whatnot, Vandal Savage is still a type of character that likes to work from the shadows too, because he's manipulated history all throughout. And so he doesn't put himself in front. He's always in the background working the strings. Carl Urban is like, that's the man, when I look at him, I need him to be more up front. I don't see him working behind the scenes like that because Carl Urban is that type of actor where it's like, yo, when I see him, I know he's about to get in some shit. He's about to handle some shit himself. He's about to make some things shake. When I think of Vandal Savage, I'm like, he can do that. But he also, again, you don't get through those years of longevity without being like, hey, man, I'm just chilling here. I'm just moving the pieces, letting y'all motherfuckers work. You feel me? Y'all handle this shit. I'm just watching. Because again, Vandal Savage isn't like a Kang character where Kang just stood at the forefront like, yeah, I'm a motherfucking pharaoh right now. Vandal was like, oh, you see me in a couple pictures here and there. If you pay attention, you see me around. That's how I feel about it.
I don't know. I hear you, but I think Carl Urban would kill it. But we could do it like a fan casting, like one of these days. Like we've talked about so many different characters. I think it would be fun to like have a show where we kind of just fan cast like an entire movie of characters. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, man. Spicy mentioned that it might be too early to do Vandal Savage. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's too early?
It all depends on how you decide to get him in.
True.
Like. Yeah. If you treat him like a Thanos-like character, cameos here and there, that's fine. But if you have him be like, yo, this is the end game of a single film,
yeah,
I agree with you, Spicy. I agree. Like, you should build up a little bit to it.
I think this could be, like you said, this could be the build-up since this is back in. If they do flashbacks back into those time periods, they show a little flash of Vandal Savage. It'll be 15 minutes on screen, and that's it.
And the thing is place it strategically where it's like, oh, flashback, like, oh, there's that again. That's why I say he's always behind the scenes. So it's like, oh, let's flash back to when you got the royal family and whatnot, and he's there as an advisor. He's off to the side, and it's like, oh, okay. Then you see another flashback, and then you're like, wait, that guy in the corner over there looked familiar. Another flashback. Is that you, Vandal? Vandal, is that you over there? I see you, Vandal. What you doing over there?
But
and next thing you know, 5 flashbacks, like, that motherfucking Vandal Savage right there. Let's go. Again, that's how I see him.
But would you want that person to be an unknown, or would you rather him be a face that is recognizable?
It depends.
Because if you do that, you have an unknown character.
If it's an unknown face, it makes it builds up the anticipation, it builds up the tension because you don't know. Just like, oh, I don't know that actor.
Hugh Jackman was unknown. Think about that.
That's true.
Okay.
He was known. Before Wolverine. He was known for Broadway.
Yeah.
Right. Like let's be real. You know what I mean?
That's
so you could get.
Why I don't like to participate in these fan cast conversations because I'm like, there's so much talent out there.
Right.
You just need to give them the fucking role and let them work, and then boom, take off.
Yeah.
So whoever they cast, as long as they do a good job, I'm gonna be excited for them because they about to get a bag.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mark wants to know like what like powerful DC character could we see Carl Urban playing?
Vandal Savage.
Right? I'm already manifesting it in my mind. I don't know, Mark. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I'm not sure. There's so many cool like DC characters. Like, I think he would be an interesting question. I don't think he wouldn't be my first choice to play the question, but I think he would do a really good job as the question.
JB, have you been reading my mind? Did I telegraph that you? Do I telegraph it? Because when you read Mercenaries' question, I was like, man, okay, I want to see somebody play the question. Carl Urban, could you? And then you say what you said. You in my head? You in my head?
Maybe.
All right, bet. You in my head? Bet. I just want the question to come to life. I want someone to put him forward like that. The question is one of my favorite, like, lesser known DC comic characters. I really, and it was during, I forgot what comic run it was. It might have been related to Dark Metal. I think the question had a couple of
I
solo.
can't remember.
But I was reading. I'm just like,
dude, he's my second or third favorite detective in DC Comics. Period.
Yeah. The way he works, it's just like, man, I need this motherfucker live action. I need him to have a series or some shit. Please.
Yeah. See, what about you? Like, if you had to, like, fan cast him as someone else, I know it's like, there's too many DC characters.
How about this? Just to fuck with 8. Let's put some let's put some makeup on him, CGI him up a little bit. Let him be Lord Darkseid.
Who?
You heard me?
Who being cast as Darkseid?
If you can get Brolin and you can put him in enough makeup and make him be Thanos. Why not do Carl Urban? Carl Urban got a really assholish way in The Boys. I
You
can
know
see
what?
him pulling this
You
off.
know what?
I can see him
You
pulling it
know
off.
what? I can see it. I can see it.
I wouldn't be upset if someone said, "Yo, Carl Urban got cast as Darkseid tomorrow." I'll be like, "All right."
Because
All right. What would have me
Right.
interested? I was like, all right, how do you interpret Darkseid in your way,
Right.
Carl Urban? How do you interpret Darkseid? Because again, I can see him in that like man of few words, because that's how he was. Again, I'm gonna bring it back to my recent watches. Chronicles of Riddick. You remember how he is?
Mhm.
You know, he's just real quiet. He just says like a sentence and that's it. Darkseid is that type of character where motherfucking Darkseid says a sentence, you motherfucking better listen. That's it. You feel me?
And there's different mannerisms. I'm big on The Boys. There's different mannerisms in The Boys where he kind of like walks around. He walks around with his hands behind his back sometimes as he's walking. That gives me a Darkseid feel. Like I see it.
I see it. Yeah. Darkseid.
But it's just it would be
my dad walks like this.
Bro, it would have to be makeup design and everything on that. Because if you can get Josh Brolin in a Thanos and then turn around and get Josh Brolin as Cable, I think that we can get Carl Urban as a Darkseid.
I'm gonna say this. If Carl Urban decides to play Darkseid ever, Josh Brolin better take notes on how you play a motherfucking god. You feel me? He better understand that Thanos ain't got shit on Darkseid. You feel me? All right.
Mark, I would put Detective Chimp as like probably number 2. I know he rivals Batman technically, but as the Batman fanboy in me cannot allow myself to put him above Bruce. But yeah, I mean, I would put him as number 2. I would put him as number 2.
Detective Chimp has some dope ass FaceTime in the Injustice series. He really motherfucking did. Especially his team up with Constantine. Oh my god. Yeah, give Detective Chimp his motherfucking flowers. Appreciate you for mentioning that. Was it Mercenary? Was that Mercenary who mentioned it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look up some Detective
Appreciate
Chimp.
you.
I don't know much about Detective Chimp.
Oh, that motherfucker. He nasty with it. He nasty with the brains, bro. He nasty with it.
I'm gonna look him up. Might as well get a read in or two added to the collection.
Yeah, I mean he's so smart. I mean, like when I think of Detective Chimp, I mean like I think a lot of like Sherlock Holmes type shit. Yeah, the way he thinks, the way that he unsolves crimes, it's very Sherlock Holmes-esque. Love Detective Chimp.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now. He's got the magnifying glass. Okay,
yeah.
I see.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for all of our news topics here on this episode of Villains. And it is finally time to move into our full spoilers review of Peacemaker episode 7. So if you haven't seen the latest episode of Peacemaker, you know, go ahead, watch the episode, come back, because this episode was incredible. It's fucking crazy that with each episode of Peacemaker, it just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. Episode 6 was fucking nuts, and then we get 7 with an incredible fight between Chris and White Dragon.
JB, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your one of your favorite content creators, the Mad Prince, son of Darkseid, Laburu himself. I'm here today to share a public service announcement. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, I came on this very platform and I told you, I'm 50-50 on Peacemaker. I was like, I could see the potential, but then there's some things that really make me like, I have that serious love-hate relationship with James Gunn, right? I am here tonight, on this Friday, that we are recording live to you on YouTube, Twitch, and you'll hear us on whatever streaming platform later. I'm here to tell you this. I was wrong. Every fucking episode of Peacemaker, motherfucker, I enjoyed that shit. It had me anxious for the next motherfucking week. There is not an episode where I'm like, I could have done without. There have been moments, don't get me wrong, there have been moments where I'm like, but overall, Peacemaker has been one of my favorite shows. And, I say one of my favorite shows of this year, and this, mind you, I'm only keeping up with 2 shows week to week, and that's Euphoria and Peacemaker. I've been slacking. Don't worry, I'm gonna make it up. Now that I'm back in my domain, in my crib, out here overlooking y'all Earthlings. As you can see, I'm in motherfucking space right now. As I overlook, because we're going to the moon, baby. As I overlook you Earthlings, I'm like, all right, let me catch up. Let me catch up. But I'm here to tell you this. If you haven't been watching Peacemaker, if you haven't been keeping up with it, I'm gonna need you to get on that shit right now. Because Peacemaker has not missed yet. 7 strong motherfucking episodes so far. Strong. And that's the end of the public service announcements. Thank you very much, JB, for allowing me this platform to express myself here and to give this PSA. I thank you.
Yeah, bro, and I'm happy to hear it too. You know what I mean? I'm happy that the show grew on you because it really is incredible. What were you gonna say, Steve?
No, I was saying respect to Abe for coming on here and being like, you know what, I was wrong. Because a lot of people don't do that. They're like, I knew the whole time.
I was wrong. Bro.
But yeah, man, like James Gunn has perfectly blended the dramatic elements with the humor, the social commentary. Like this show is so close to perfection. It's fucking crazy. Like it's easily one of my favorite like comic book TV shows of all time already. And I can't wait for this finale. So a couple episodes back, we kind of, what we were thinking was that, maybe Keith, Chris's brother, was protecting him in a fight. He got hit, started seizing, and it wasn't until Peacemaker episode 6 and then at the beginning of this episode that showed us exactly what happened, right? So let's get into it. So we get a flashback of Chris and Keith. They're in their room listening to rock music together. We can see the brotherhood between them. And then we cut to August and his friends, and they're all taking bets. They're all placing bets on who's going to win the fight between Chris and Keith. And this whole time, August is calling Chris a pussy, telling him that he hits like a girl. And then Chris gets one really good hit in. Keith falls to the ground, starts seizing. And it's such a hard scene to watch, man. Because Chris is just standing there and he can't even process what the fuck's happening right now. He's like, oh, he's doing the worm, right? He can't even process what's happening right now until it happens. And August is like, you fucking killed him. You killed your brother, you dumb shit. Like, just berating him. He's a fucking kid.
And you
like,
made them fight.
And you made them fight.
For their
so, Steve, I'll start with you. Like, what give me all your thoughts on it.
So I think at the end of our episode of our prediction thing, we were joking around and we were like, what if they got into a fight? And you know what I'm saying? And we just were joking around. That wasn't even our actual prediction. And then it ended up being what it was. They're actually having a little fight for entertainment for the adults as they're drinking around and shit. And just the whole scene, just the process of it is like, they're telling them you hit like a pussy, blah, blah, blah. They've been kind of in competition with each other and trying to, please everybody else. And then he hits him and he's like, I got him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's happy that he did it. Like, I knocked him out. And then he's like, look, he's doing the worm. And then everybody's kind of standing up. And then the dad, you killed your brother. It's like, dang, you're not even going to try to get medical attention. You just like, he's dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's over. And that's just it. Like, it was really, really tough to watch. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen fights, I've been in fights and things like that. I've never known that, one wrong punch and a seizure could happen or something like that. Like, it's just crazy how like it all just unraveled and it seemed like it happened so fast. And it bothers Peacemaker all the time. As you can see, he's just in the bathroom thinking about it. And then boom, flashback again. So I think that was really, really dope. Well, I mean, I thought that was really, really crazy. And I thought it was dope to transition from episode 6 to episode 7 because he's playing Home Sweet Home on the piano. And then that's the first song that you hear in this episode. So I thought that was like a good transition. So for people that's going to binge this, they're going to be like, oh, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So.
Hey, what about you? Like, did you foresee that it was Chris that did it on accident? And like, how did you think that James Gunn and his team like portrayed that scene?
So I have to also offer up another confession. When watching Peacemaker, well, for me mostly, when watching any show, whatever mental state I'm in really influences how I take the show. So with episode 6, I found a lot of the things emotional. I was like, oh shit, I was feeling that shit right here in my heart, right? But today has been such a crazy day for me. And I didn't watch the episode until like 4 hours ago. And I've been in this like, motherfucker, I'm turned. You feel me? I've been drinking straight from the bottle earlier. And, you know, I've been already on my second motherfucker mixed drink. You already know what we do out here. The Map Prince is here. You feel me? And so when I was watching this, I was like, I don't care about your feelings right now. I don't feel sad. Niggas die every day, B. Yeah, you know. What did you expect from a fucking no holds barred fight?
Villain.
But to answer one of your questions, I always felt like, yes, Chris definitely played a hand in his brother's death. That it was always accidental because of how it stuck with him and how it kept plaguing him. You see that it's a common trope we see in media that is like, all right, you had a hand in it. This is me being critical, you know, a little bit. I felt like that scene in the beginning was lacking because yes, it captured the moment like, oh, okay, this your Brody. Y'all, yeah, we rock out for the devil. You feel me? Rock and roll. Fuck white power. You feel me? And I'm like, yo, I'm with you, motherfucker. I'm with you. Fuck white power. You feel me? Let's go. We proud. We black and we proud out here, right? But then when the fight started, they had the whole like, all right, you know, hit him. Don't be this, that, and you know, words that I will not display here on national television because I know we're being broadcasted live to millions of viewers because we ain't trying to get canceled, and I agree some of those terms are out of line. But then it went from like, yeah, hit him to then bam. Oh shit, motherfucker having a seizure. Oh, he doing the worm. And I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker doing the worm. I feel like they could have fleshed that out just a couple seconds more, showed us more of the fight, showing like, all right, yeah, they were swinging back and forth at each other. They was really giving each other work. And then this one punch just landed in the wrong spot. But I really failed to like feel sympathy for anyone because it's like, yo, Augie, you having your sons fight, especially when in the beginning they were like, all right, no biting, no scratching. It was like, no fucking, no holds barred.
No,
if it's no holds barred, niggas die every day. Right. Like if a nigga die, it's no holds barred. I literally took off. So why is everybody upset all of a sudden? I was confused. I was like, why are you complaining? Hey, look, one son is stronger than the other. You better accept that shit. You better accept that shit. So emotionally, it didn't hit for me, but I still enjoyed the moment because it made sense. It made sense why Chris, aka Peacemaker, aka John Cena, is fucked up the way he is because he unfortunately killed his own brother, someone that he looked up to, his older brother. I'm assuming that's his older brother just because the way they So I'm just like, damn, okay, I understand. I'm not feeling sorry for you, but I understand where you're coming from. But it's like, Augie, you can't be motherfucking mad when you clearly this is something that you do normally. Why are you having your own sons fight each other? Like they some motherfucking dogs. Like
he's still a human being, and human beings dodge accountability on a daily basis.
Yo, motherfucker, that man be
is what it is. It's like,
ran off on the plug twice. You know, he just be running off on.
It's like instead of blaming yourself for making your kids fight in a no holds barred fight, you're gonna blame your youngest son for killing your other son. And like, I see where you're coming from, but just a little pushback on that. I didn't need more of the fight because it kind of doesn't matter, right? Like, once we know the context of what happened and how it happened, that's really the only thing that matters. We need to see why Chris is so fucked up, and it's because he accidentally killed his older brother and his father blames him for it, right? So we just need to see like what fucked him up psychologically. So I personally don't see how like more of the fight could have added anything to the story, but I do see where you're coming from. And Leroy, I'm not sure, but dude, if that's somehow real, I might cry, dude. Like, to think Keith would be like to think that Eagly's like a reincarnation of Keith, that's fucking like, that's nuts. Because he needs that, man. Like, his relationship with Eagly, he needs that relationship so bad. And this is something that him and Vigilante talk about. I can't remember if it's in this episode or if it's in episode 6, but when he pretty much talks about the fact that Chris kind of surrounds himself with like animals that can't necessarily talk back to him, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because the things that he says, sometimes I don't think he can deal with like the feedback of it, so he kind of like shuts himself off, you know what I mean? So he's psychologically fucked, and that moment was where it all started, right? So I think we got enough of it, but again, I do see, you know, where you're coming from.
Real quick, my fault. Leroy. So earlier I was drinking tequila straight from the bottle, right? Tequila makes me do a lot of things. Tequila especially makes me dance, you feel me? So catch me later after this. I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch. Nice. I don't know what I'm playing yet, but yeah, I was sipping on tequila. But this right here, so I had the drink you saw me drinking when we began the show was dragon fruit juice with tequila. Now I'm on that simple vodka cranberry right now, you know, but I'm a heavy hand, so it's like, y'all saw me pouring. It's like this much, you know, this much vodka, the rest cranberry. But that's what I'm on. But yeah, you know, honestly, I also wouldn't hate the idea of Eagly being the reincarnation of Keith, to be honest. Whether they go into it, I highly doubt it, because that's a whole can of worms you gotta open up right there.
Right. And there's only one episode left.
Yeah. Especially depending on exactly what you're trying to do with this. Like, all right, is this if this is standalone, yeah, you can kind of do it. But if you plan to connect with everything, it's like, all right, bringing in reincarnation is but just headcanon wise, I fuck with that idea, because Eagly, again, I mentioned earlier how Eagly is one of my 3 favorite characters.
Facts.
The relationship between Eagly, and it's just like Eagly is motherfucking animal. He don't even speak, right? But the relationship between Chris and Eagly has been so enjoyable. The relationship, the interaction between Eagly and everybody else, where it's like, yo, if this motherfucker is the reincarnation of Keith, and just, you know, speaking outside the show and whatnot, I do believe in reincarnation and whatnot personally. It would make so much sense. It would make so much sense, because Keith loved Chris. I got that vibe from the small scene we got at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
And we've known for a while that Chris loved Keith. And we've seen how Eagly robbed for his boy, dog. Eagly robbed for his boy, dog.
And no matter what, he's right.
It's just like, bro, if that motherfucker is Keith reincarnated, I'll fuck with that shit. So Leroy, headcanon wise, I'm with you. Now, story wise, you know, I'm gonna leave it alone, because again, it can get real messy. But headcanon, I'm with you, my nigga. I'm with you.
And I mean, it's not it's not absurd.
I'm with you, my
either,
nigga.
right?
Black Power, you feel me? Happy Black History Month to all my melanated. It's Black History Month every motherfucking day, 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You feel me? All right.
By the way, speaking of that, make sure you guys are following us on Twitter, because we are doing 28 days of Black cinema, where each day we are highlighting a Black creator, whether they're a director, writer, actor, voice actor, whatever it is. We are highlighting one person every single day this entire month. So definitely make sure you're following us on Twitter for that as well. But yeah, man, I mean, like, it's crazy the life that Chris has had to come up in. And in this universe, stranger things have happened, right? Like, we have Starro, we got the butterflies, we know Planet Bismol exists. We know that Bat might fucking exist,
So
we've already gotten different planets, different universes. So stranger things have happened, right? So it is very possible. But yeah, thinking logically in terms of like season 1, we have nothing to base that on. But dude, I would fucking love that if that was the case. So after this, Vigilante's knocking on the door and we get the intro. We don't skip the Peacemaker intro around here. It doesn't matter how many times I watch the episode. You raggedy bitch.
Look. I said what I said with that PSA. Well, all right, I'll say this. I don't necessarily skip the intro, but when the intro hits, motherfucker, I gotta take care of other shit. You feel me? I'm gonna be in the kitchen cooking. I'm gonna be on my phone. I'm gonna be on my laptop. I'm doing other shit. I don't really pay attention to the intro. I'm sorry. That's something that's not going to fucking change. I don't care about the fucking intro. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry at all. I'm not sorry. I don't pay attention to the intro. But the show is still fire.
To me, it makes a little more sense now that everybody is like kind of like become butterflies. Because now they're just all like in sync and doing this little dance together. And I'm just like, oh, okay, they're all like a hive mind kind of thing. And obviously, I don't think everybody will become a butterfly, but like it's just cool that they kind of do that intro and it kind of feels like they're all kind of like butterflies being controlled and then doing that thing.
Yeah. So after the intro, we get Chris and Vigilante. They're in the apartment or whatever, and they're looking at the news. And the police captain's like, find and stop Peacemaker. So from episode 6, we saw that they revealed the diary. We finally see everything that's in it, because that was something we were wondering, like, yo, what the fuck is in this diary? It's obviously something extremely incriminating to keep Peacemaker in line or whatever it is. And clearly Waller's plan was to pretty much pin everything on Peacemaker, right? Like, this wasn't supposed to be covert ops or anything like that. The plan was literally to just put everything on Peacemaker. So the journal has all of this different stuff about him like thinking about aliens and thinking that he's the vigilante here to save us all from the aliens that are inhabiting the planet and all these different things. So I thought that was really, really fucked up. But this is where Chris realizes that Adebayo planted the book, because she was the only one in his trailer. And you can see the fact that he's really, really betrayed, right? So, Abe, I want to toss it to you. How did you feel about the reveal of the diary? And now that Chris found out, like, what do you think the relationship of Chris and Adebayo are even going to be?
JB, I'd just like to start off by saying I'm so glad that you came to me first, because you've known Adebayo is also top 3 favorite characters for me, right? And so I'm sitting here. I've said that from the beginning. My top 3 favorite characters are in no order: Adebayo, Vigilante, Eagly, right? Look, we've always wondered exactly how is Adebayo going to function in this world, right? In the sense of she is someone who's clearly not Amanda Waller, but at the end of the day, her mother is Amanda Waller. You know? So this and I've said it also too, the relationship between Chris and Adebayo has been stellar. So much so I was ready to curse out I believe, was it Chris who was on here a few weeks back, the last time I was on C4SVillains, and he was talking about the throuple between Chris and Adebayo, and I was like, no, don't do that, don't ruin the relationship like that, don't do that. But here we get our first major, basically, quote unquote, fight, right? Dog, I loved everything about it. Everything about it was just like, okay, the guilt she feels, because let's be real, while she is Amanda Waller's daughter, she herself is not Amanda Waller.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not heartless like her mama, even though she did something heartless and she saw it through. But then how it affected Chris, because it was very clear. Chris, out of everybody on the motherfucking team, I'm excluding Vigilante because he joined the team late, but of the original team, he was closest and trusted Adebayo the most, with ease, with motherfucking ease. He was just trying to get in Hardcore's pants. He wasn't really fucking with Mern like that. He was clowning Diebeard until episode 6 when Diebeard showed the fuck out.
It kind of goat.
But Adebayo, that right there was like, bro, what is one of the highest forms of betrayal that you can implement in the show? That was at least top 3 choices right there.
Yeah, dude.
And I fucking loved it because of, especially with how the episode ended. It was like, just moving on ahead a little bit. My fault, JP. Was as everything happens and everything goes down, there's that moment where they all like, all right, yo, Hardcore, we following you. Yes, we're a team. And you're thinking like, oh, they a team. Until Adebayo apologizes. And what does Chris say? He's like, I don't give a fuck no more.
Care if I see your ugly face again.
I thought we were a team, but we not. So I'm just here so I won't get fined. You feel me? I'm just here so I won't get fined. And right then and there was like, shit. This relationship that was building up so beautifully and was allowing, and I felt like the relationship with Adebayo was helping Chris become more of a better person, because everybody else was like, you gotta kill, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's why we brought you in. We know you murder people. We ain't mad. We need that. Adebayo's like, wait a minute, do we have to kill? And that was definitely impacting Chris. And so having that positive influence, and then that same positive influence is the one that basically tried to destroy your life here. Oh, man. It makes me upset that we got one more episode, to be honest, because I want to see further how deep does this fracture go? How deep is the Chris, how much have we lost from the Chris and Adebayo relationship, and what does that mean moving forward? Because while we've lost Adebayo, Chris has gotten closer with Vigilante, has gotten a bit closer with Diebeard, so much so that he doesn't clown him as much, and definitely Hardcore ways like, hey, I'm not just trying to fuck. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get in them panties a little bit. You feel me? I mean, I don't think she wear panties, but that's beside the point. He's trying to get in them drawers a little bit, but he at least also respects her. So it's like, damn, not him inching a bit closer to the rest of the team and now separating himself from Adebayo. But at the same time, when I say he inches himself to the rest of the team, remember what he said to Vigilante in that episode. I knew I couldn't trust these fuckers.
Yep.
So while I do support Hardcore taking over, I'm so sorry for jumping ahead, JB. While I do support Hardcore for taking over, again, I'm here. It's like, it's the same mentality I have here. I clock into work, I'm focused on work. As soon as I clock out, I don't know y'all niggas. That's exactly where Chris is at right now for me. And I'm really, really looking forward to how episode 8 resolves itself, especially since it's basically the season finale.
Yeah, I think they can reconcile, because when he says, I hope I never see your dumb fucking face ever again, it's coming from a place of extreme hurt, because they were friends, right? So I think they can reconcile at the end of the finale, but I don't know. We'll see. But Steve, what did you think about like Chris's reaction to finding out that Adebayo betrayed him?
Man, so, and it's funny because it was like, oh, it had to be her. She was in my place or whatever. Vigilante's standing right there. Vigilante was in his place too, but he just knew. He was like, Vigilante would never do this. It had to be her. So it was like one of those things where it was like,
I mean, for fuck's sake, the code to his phone is Chris's birthday.
Yeah. So his emotional attachment to Adebayo you could tell it was broken, and he was like hurt. And so he's packing up everything, he's leaving. And then like he just couldn't think about, like, he was like, I couldn't trust them. I knew I couldn't trust these people. And it was like, they're all working for Amanda Waller. Of course I can't trust them. That's kind of like how his mind is going. Of course I couldn't trust them. So that's what he was upset about, and that's what he was sad about. And then even when they're talking or whatever, the Diebeard comes. First he says, I thought you didn't have a journal. Then Diebeard said, I thought you didn't have a journal. And he's all like, dude, I don't have a fucking journal. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, a diary, right? And then he's like, if I had it, it would be a journal, not a diary. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, but it was just like funny, the whole conversation and how it was going, because it was like, it was so up and down. But his emotions, like, you could tell he was pissed the entire time. Even when he's telling them about the, like, I wouldn't have a diary, I have a journal. He still like has the anger in him. I'm loving John Cena's acting in these episodes, man. He's doing real good.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait to talk about the interaction between him and White Dragon later on in the episode, because that's some good fucking acting, bro.
Mhm.
But so we quickly cut back to August and him and his his clan members. I have to be honest, the White Dragon suit looks way better on someone than when it was just standing there. I think you said it, Steve, like a couple of times, where it's like the pec plates kind of look like boob plates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on him, it's like, well, it looks way better than it does. And then we realize that, of course, he has like trackers on each one of the helmets, so he can keep an eye on Chris. And then we quickly cut to Chris, Adrian, and John. They're packing up all the guns. They're packing up all the helmets because Chris wants to just go kill the cow, get this shit over with. And then we cut to what Abe was talking about with Autobio in the hotel. And this is where she's looking at the news. This is right after episode 6, where she was like, I did something fucking terrible to a friend. And the cop was supposed to be their person on the inside who hid the book. So she was like, okay, cool. Well, I did a terrible thing, but at least now it's not out there. But now it is, right? And this ruins Chris's life. They either have to like fake his death or something, because everyone in the country is looking for Peacemaker, right? Like they have him.
Please keep in mind, JB, that she had opportunity. She expressed she almost took back the book when she was at his crib. Almost took it back. She took it back. She was like, and put it back. And so she was willing to like, yo, I gotta see it through, my boy. I gotta see it through. And then when the cop did it, he was like, oh, wait, okay. Even though I saw it through, and even though I stuck with the plan, it's out of my hands now, but someone else is taking care of it. And then look what happened. So I feel no sympathy. As much as I love Adebayo, I feel no sympathy for her, because at the end of the day, you had an opportunity to take it back, and yet you still did it. So when you get this surprise, it's like, it's motherfucking karma. What you expect? You reap you sow the seeds that you reap, right?
Yeah, and
or
even
you
when
you reap the seeds that you sow, I'm fucking up.
Yeah, what you sow, yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
even when
like,
Harcourt shows up, she doubles down, and she even tries to tries to say that what she did was right, because he's mentally unstable,
he was supposed to
or
be
whatever.
A pawn.
But the real Chris, though, like, after like meeting him and actually talking to this guy, that he's not this person, and setting him up is really, really, really fucked up. So I'll keep it with you, Abe. Like, what did you think about Harcourt coming in, defending Chris, telling her like, yo, he's a part of our team, he's a soldier, and you pretty much just sold him out? And Harcourt is usually like, and I love this exchange, because I kind of want to get your thoughts on the entire exchange between them, because on one side, Harcourt's like, you shouldn't have done this to one of our team members, and Adebayo's like, oh, you're concerned about my morality when it comes to this, but you have no problems killing an innocent man that was begging for his life, talking about his wife and his kids, when we didn't have to kill him. So I love this conversation between the two. So how did you think about that?
Okay, so there's definitely a good bit to unpack here. So originally, we've been seeing since Jump. So since episode 1, we got Chris trying to holler at Harcourt, and the way Harcourt was displayed was like, okay, she a cold bitch, excuse my language, but that's how we would describe her. Like, yo, she don't do that. She don't fuck around with teammates. Like, she heartless, right? But every episode we've been chipping away at that. We've seen that she knows how to express.
Real quick. I wouldn't say she's heartless. I would say that she compartmentalizes her emotions, because you can tell that it's really hard for her to lose teammates. So it's easier for her to just either work alone and compartmentalize than have feelings for people. But continue.
That's fair. That's actually a better way to say it than what I was. Because y'all, I'm that liquor's been pouring well, right? But that's definitely she compartmentalizes. Can I get an amen? There we go. I was waiting for an amen. If I ain't get an amen, we was gonna be stuck in this position for a bit. But anyway, so she compartmentalizes very well. Well, now I won't say very well, because that makes it seem like I agree. But she compartmentalizes. Okay. That being said, every episode since, we've been kind of getting to know her more, and we've seen her open herself up more to the team and to their opinions and to their feelings, especially her relationship with Chris. Because keep in mind, last week, even though I wasn't here last week, I know you guys mentioned it. Last week, what did she do? She took the time to basically etch in the dove, the symbol of peace, into his gun. Mm-hmm. And mind you, Chris, he's one of those people that's like, he means well, but sometimes he doesn't say it off. He was like, oh, it's supposed to be on the other side. And he's like, oh, no, but I still appreciate it. Like, yeah, whatever. But she still took that time. So she was, at this point, she's opening up. So when she came through that motherfucking door, it was like, all right, this is the culmination. This is the climax of all that development we've been doing with her to show her, like, yo, she actually does care about her team. Because keep in mind, last week, too, when they were riding around in the van and started singing, what did she do? She wasn't with it in the beginning, but then eventually, and she took that selfie. Remember that. Mm-hmm. So her coming out of bio like this was like, yeah, this is where you've been. This is how you've been lately. You've been opening up. So I fully expect this, and I'm not surprised by it. I appreciate this, but I will say this. I agree with Hardcore here. But now the bio was like, but you all of a sudden you care, but you look, y'all behind enemy lines. Y'all don't know who's friend or foe. Mm-hmm. Like, that dude off rip is an enemy. Now, is he a butterfly? We don't know. He says he's not, but like, yo, you gonna believe everybody who says they don't do something? Yep. I understand the judicial system is innocent of proven guilty, but let's be real. When you suspect somebody, you all the time be like, oh, they didn't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna believe you. Yeah. Especially in a situation like that, where if you say like, oh, okay, he's not a butterfly, you turn around, nigga popped on the head. And then you dead. This is war. The rules change. And Adebayo isn't built for that. She doesn't know that. She's not made like that. She's been experiencing it ever since she's dealt with the team. So while, yes, I understood her saying that, I was like, you're still wrong, though. That's not a proper comparison. Like, yeah, that man wasn't a butterfly, but that wasn't, you thought that because you just didn't want to kill. And you were right. Like, hey, but how likely is it that, oh, you're going to be right in that situation? Hardcore still made the right decision in that case. That is comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. But when you, Adebayo, decide to basically frame a teammate who y'all need to handle this situation, oh, bro, you got to take that L. Don't try to deflect. Don't try to be like, oh, but you got to take that L for real, for real. Adebayo fucked up. She fucked up and she was in the wrong. Hardcore did not do or say anything wrong in that situation.
I would argue that they're both wrong. Like, I see where you're coming from, but I would argue that they're both wrong and they both make each other better, right? So, in my opinion, Hardcore did not have to kill that guy, right? Because here's my thing. I think that guy, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he knew about the butterflies because he was protecting them with Judo Master. I think he knew about the butterflies. And also, who is he going to tell, right? Who is he going to tell that these agents were here at this time? Who's he going to tell? Who's going to believe him? And how are they going to find them? So there was no need to kill him, in my opinion.
But here's the thing. And I'm so glad you mentioned this, because I was going to get into this later, is because we did get Judo Master in this episode again. It was going to be, remember what Judo Master said earlier during that episode when Hardcore kills that guy? Like, yo, y'all don't understand that these people, they're not, you were saying they're not bad guys, but we know Judo Master isn't controlled by a butterfly. I think that's what the train of thought that we're on.
I still have no idea.
Yeah, it's been made to seem like Judo isn't, but he could be. We don't know regardless. But let's say he isn't. But he's like, yo, y'all don't understand. Okay. Then we get the golf butterfly and Chris kind of bonding with Eagly during that time. And then we get this whole like, hey, we're gonna change the world, blah, 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 go crazy. We don't know necessarily if, just speaking not just in terms of who's the protagonist, antagonist, are the butterflies wrong? You can say yes because they're actually killing people and taking over their lives. Yeah, sure. But what if they have a very like reasonable reason? Like it's like, shit, in that case, if it's survival of the species, I get it, blah, blah, blah. What if they have a reason where it's like, oh, they are not truly the bad guys? That's still up in the air, right?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. So I think that their thing is they came to this planet. They see that the planet has been destroyed and whatever. So they know that we're destroying our planet. And they're like, we can actually put a halt to this, but we need to take over certain leaders and stuff to put a halt to it. So, because even she, the queen or whatever, the one that, I can't remember.
Golf butterfly.
Yeah, the golf butterfly. Yeah. She says, you'll understand later. Like she's like, we're doing this for your own good. And
exactly.
So I think they think that they're doing the right thing, but
so for me, it's like, yo, you gotta look at it as, again, Harcourt in her experience, the butterflies are the ops. They are the enemy, especially since Myrn, she was at this time she didn't know for sure, but this was from this point on she starts to suspect Myrn, right? It's just like, yo, Myrn's trying to stop him. Myrn is a butterfly. So someone who's fighting an alien, like somewhat alien invasion, you work with Amanda Waller where it's like, yo, you gotta be, this is when I gotta use the word heartless here. You gotta be heartless, and she compartmentalizes. It's like, you cannot take that. That's it. You are taking a risk by leaving that man alive. Especially since the mission was blown. The shit was blown. It wasn't supposed to work out that way. You are in like, yo, we gotta start hustling and make up this mission because they were supposed to just kill the family. And that shit didn't go smoothly. So it's like, bro, all right, you an enemy. I gotta take you out. You could be, it's one of those things where it's like you could roll the dice. And I'm gonna bring it to real world applications, low key, which is kind of unfortunate here because this is definitely a tough subject. But you look at like child soldiers, how many movies have we? Let's bring it back to the world of fiction because I don't want to bring it. But you look at movies like Tears of the Sun and many more movies. Exactly, you have child soldiers. Of course, it's like, yo, that's a child. I don't want to kill that child. But if you don't, that child gonna take your life.
Yeah, he's gonna kill you, kill your friends.
Exactly. You show mercy in that situation is gonna end up with your life taken away, right? Okay. Hardcore shows mercy to this person. What if their life gets taken away? When people are faced with the face of death, when people see the face of death, people will say whatever. They'll start singing to the high heavens. This man was like, oh, I might get shot, so I gotta start begging for my life, right? Yes, he's innocent, but that's all well and done in hindsight. So that's why I feel like Harcourt, in that moment, you made the proper decision. In hindsight, yeah, we can definitely break it down and we can judge it and whatnot.
For sure.
But right then and there, if you were wrong,
like I'll be honest. I'll be honest. In that moment, I would have shot him too, right?
Exactly.
Like in the grander scheme of everything that's happening right now with this literal infiltration of our planet, we can't take chances like this, right? Like he was too close, right? And the thing between, it's kind of like the Superman and Zod thing with like the butterflies, right? Where it's like Superman believes that we can all coexist, where Zod feels like, well, no, if we really want to stop, like if we want our species to live and thrive, we kind of got to get rid of them, right? And with the queen, her whole thing is like, well, we can give all of my people a planet and we can end all war for humans, right? Because if they're all unified, there is no more factions, countries, all of this different crap that pits us against each other, right? Because we're the biggest detriment to ourselves and our planet, right? So they think that they are helping us and helping themselves at the same time. But Myrn, the butterfly that was in Myrn knows that it's not right. You can't just remove free will to try to fix something. So Steve, I'm gonna toss this back to you real quick so that we can move on. But I just want to get like your thoughts on the conversation between Adebayo and Harcourt in terms of their morality.
I thought it was really cool. Just the fact that Adebayo kind of says like she's deflecting. She's clearly deflecting. And Hardcore is like giving you like we're a team. And like it shows the character development from where she was in episode 1 and 2, the early on episodes, and how much she's grown from then to now. Because inside of the restaurant and things like that, she's calling Peacemaker a fucktard. She's at the bar, she's drinking alone. I just want to be alone. Leave me the fuck alone. And then later on, we getting her taking selfies, enjoying everybody, things like that, to a point where she is in Adebayo's face defending Peacemaker. She's changed so much since the beginning of the story. And she's just like, yo, we're a team. And then Adebayo even says, so it's okay for you to kill everybody else long as it's not your teammates or whatever. And she's like, yes. Like, yes, they're my teammates. Like, this is what we're supposed to do. It's a war. Our side wins, their side has to die. Like, it was as simple as that. As simple as that in her mind. But Adebayo's not built for this. Like, this is just not her. And she don't understand it. And she's like, well, I don't understand. He's begging for his life. And it's like, so what? He's fighting with the butterflies. Like, that's how she feels. It's kill or be killed in this situation. And like James, you said you don't know what information he could tell, but let's say they kill and assassinate all these people and he escapes. I know the team that was there. That's enough for them to, fuck up their whole mission. So yeah, he got to go.
Especially with how the butterflies work. Let's say he does live. Let's say that he ends up getting a butterfly in him later. Boy, I mean, now while golf has already seen the faces, that's another butterfly scene, and at that point, you just made your life even more difficult.
Yeah.
Hardcore had to kill him. Adebayo just doesn't understand that. And it's nothing against her. It's again, she's not made for this life.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can't be upset with her thinking because it's like, yo, you didn't want to be a part of this anyway. Your mom is forcing you into this. And now you're realizing that the way you think does not coincide with the life that this is.
Mm-hmm.
But, as a fan, it's like, hey, Hardcore was still right in that situation.
Yeah.
Adebayo, it's unfortunate. You still got to learn that, but Hardcore was right.
Yeah. And the conversation was needed because we saw later on, it changed Hardcore.
Yeah. Which is what you said, JB. They feed off each other and whatnot, and that's exactly what ended up happening. And, it was for good reason. There was no vigilante out here trying to kill everybody.
Yeah, right?
Vigilante, I feel you. But, like, you don't need to kill anybody. And Hardcore had her change of opinion, and it worked out well because them motherfuckers was like, we're ready to go. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and Chris said, no, because you'll die. And I immediately thought of Deadpool, too. I was just like, where he got all that team and then all bam, bam, bam. Niggas started dying left and right. It's like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, right? But yeah, after that, Myrn shows up, and then this is where we find out that Myrn knew the whole time that Adebayo was Waller's daughter, figured out that he planted the diary, and he tells her, like, maybe you should have waited until after the mission was done if you were going to do something so fucking stupid. But again, like you keep saying, Abe, she's not built for this shit, right? Like, she's not thinking about that. It's a job that her mother is forcing her to do, and she's just trying to do a job, and she's not thinking because she's also fucking over a friend. Right. So she kind of just wants to get it over with, even though it's the wrong thing. So I love all of this. This entire show just plays around with morality and where we all stand as human beings against each other and with each other. So this is something that James Gunn has done really well with this entire fucking series. We cut to Judo Master real quick. He's outside of this convenience store eating some Cheetos. And then we get these two fucking assholes telling him that he's a fucking leprechaun. And I love that later on, Judo Master just completely fucks up these two guys. I thought it was absolutely fucking hilarious.
That's my theory, right? Every time we've seen Judo Master, he's eating hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Right? So his mouth is like, I guess in a sense, it's on fire, quote unquote, right? Maybe he's doing that for a reason. The butterflies enter through your mouth. That's
they could go through. Well, and his ears are covered.
His ears are covered, and his suit is for the butt part is completely covered.
That's not the craziest thing I've heard. It's possible.
He's all
especially with how
scene
James Gunn has been making the show. It's very plausible that that's the reason why Judo Master hasn't been turned into a butterfly yet. Is because
always eating hot food,
it
hot
makes
Cheetos.
sense.
Every
Makes
scene.
sense.
Even
I
when
wouldn't
they
be surprised if James Gunn decided to do that.
even
shit.
when they're spying on him to shoot them from, the thing, they see him, he's eating hot Cheetos. Inside, when they're tied up, they're tortured, he's eating hot Cheetos. He's eating hot Cheetos when he's flicking them at Peacemakers. Like, that's all he's done every time we see him. I think that he's got a paranoia thing, and he's like, and maybe it's not going to do anything, you know what I'm saying? But maybe that's for his own mental sake. He feels like, if I'm eating hot fucking food or whatever, they can't enter through the esophagus or whatever.
That is an interesting theory.
My thing. But at the same time, it always makes me think that he might already be a butterfly because of the fact that Hardcore has said that Mern, he blew up basically and he got straight up. Judo Master's been smashed in the head with a fucking pipe. He's been shot.
Have we seen other butterflies eat normal food?
That too. We haven't seen butterflies eat anything other than the little goop.
Exactly. Yeah. We haven't seen Judo eat anything other than the chips.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
I sincerely believe that Judo Master is still human.
Yeah.
But
he's
then
just
again,
a strong motherfucker.
It leads to like, he's like, y'all don't understand. So is Judo Master a villain? But then for him saying y'all don't get it, it's like, what is, and we'll find out next week. Are the butterflies the big bad, or are they just a step on the path?
Judo Master might be one of those Thanos was right people. Like, you know what I'm saying? That could be what he is. He could be like,
Thanos was right!
And he was right in every way possible. Mm-hmm. I can do a podcast just talking about how right Thanos was to save us all. But Harcourt leaves. She tries to call Chris on the phone. Obviously, she can't reach him because his phone's destroyed. And then we cut to Chris, Adrian, and John driving in the van. And this is where we see White Dragon flying in the suit for the first time. I thought this was really, really cool. He flies in, bumps straight into the van, rips the van open, and just straight up just tries to fucking kill Chris. And something that you talked about, Steve, the fact that we were going to get, more fights with like Vigilante versus White Dragon. He's like shooting him with the what's the name of the gun? It's a P90. What's it called?
Yeah, it's P90.
Yeah, so he's shooting him with the. Go ahead.
No. So I was just about to say he was shooting him, but then you were about to get to the next scene and stuff like that. So we can wait. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he's shooting him with the P90, and then he grabs the grenade, just throws it in front of him, and then we just see the explosion. And I was like, "Whoa! I did not think that Vigilante was that close to the explosion." So that kind of threw me off. I didn't think he was dead or anything, but him being that close, that kind of threw me off, right? So, but it worked, right? Vigilante made them think that he was dead, and White Dragon decides, there's like, fuck it, fine, that's not what we're here for. And they continue to try to track Chris, and then they do see Vigilante again. He steals a car. But Steve, what did you think about White Dragon flying? What do you think of the suit's power, the strength increase? Like, what did you think?
So I thought that was really dope. The flying through the scene or whatever, and it like the collide during the about to be the breakdown of the song. I thought that was really cool. And then just the suit in general, he's flying around like Iron Man and shit. Like it looked good. Like you said, and on the little mannequin, it didn't look like a great suit, but then you see him in suit, and he actually looks pretty good. So I was all like, and it's a shame that we got it for one episode. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't get more of it because I actually enjoyed that suit. But then the fight, he's when he comes in, Peacemaker's like, "Dad, like, why are you here?" And he's like, "I'm here to do what I should have did." So he automatically knows. He's like, "Oh, he's trying to kill me. Like, what the fuck?" And it's just one of them things where it's kind of like he's like, "Who the fuck can I trust?" At this point, Peacemaker done been betrayed, and now
it's the look on his face too. It's just like, really, my dad's about to fucking kill me. Like,
it's like, why are you here to kill me? Like, it's just betrayal, and then now my own dad. Like, who can I trust other than Eagly? Like at this point, and so when the grenade goes off, though, also with Vigilante, like if you throw a grenade at somebody, like you got to get down. Like I think we watch a lot of TV and we don't think those explosions are gonna be big. But so when the
Right.
explosion came, I was like, and honestly and truthfully, I thought this was James Gunn's funny way of killing Vigilante. I was like, did he just kill Vigilante? I was like, did he? Because I knew like he would survive the initial impact, but like he was like heavy breathing throughout like most of the next couple scenes. I was like, yo, James Gunn just killed him in like a kind of funny Vigilante way. And I thought that was cool, but it was just like that whole little scene was pretty cool. I enjoyed the little costumes thing, and he had the, I don't know, what do you call them, explosions in his hands, or
Yeah, like he has like gauntlets of some kind.
yeah, it was pretty interesting. I like the fact that he could fly and shit like that. That was pretty cool. I think between that and Peacemaker's helmets, it's like he is literally a genius. He's just a fucking piece of shit.
Abe, what about you? Like, what did you think about this whole exchange?
Oh, it was a reckoning that needed to happen. This was inevitable. We needed to finally have this confrontation and deal with it, not only between just the personal father versus son deal, but also the white dragon and whatnot. They're just secondary, tertiary antagonists. Like we can't have them still lingering around. We can't have them still having a role when the, as is painted, the big quote unquote big bad is the butterflies. You know, we see some members of the White Dragon coalition over there. They are currently butterflies now. You know, if Augie and his gang still lives, then you got to look at it as like, okay, when is the butterflies going to probably recruit them? You know, and that's just extra firepower against Chris and the team that they don't need. So I was appreciative, and personally, as you know, as a man of very deep melanin, I was just happy to get them motherfuckers out the paint because they was wearing their hoods and they was talking on their hot shit. I was like, I need all them motherfuckers to die. And Vigilante did that shit when he started. No, it was Diebeard did that shit when he started letting that shit spray. He started letting that chopper spray, boy.
Hey,
killed all them.
He got the most bodies.
Yeah, he do got the most bodies, right? In this series, he definitely got the most bodies amongst the team. But
I think Chris has him beat though, because when he uses when Chris uses the warehouse, when he uses the grenade and the warhead, that was a lot of guys.
But the gorilla got to count as 20.
No. If it was Gorilla Grodd, it counts as about 50. But no, this gorilla's going to at least count about 10. It's going to count about 10.
He chainsawed.
So it goes Chris, then Diebeard.
Definitely.
For both bodies. So, but I was glad that they had Chris finally pull the trigger. It didn't really give him closure because there's so much still going on, and especially he's just hurting all over. Because let's be real, the way he confused is that this didn't have to happen if this quote unquote team ain't fucked me over. If they didn't put my dad in jail in the first place to make this happen. That didn't have to take place. So while he needed to do this, it doesn't really take care of things for him.
That's a really good point that you bring up, dude. Like, this is all because of the team, but it was something that needed to be done.
Yeah.
You know, and this kind of just pushed him towards it because it's like, dude, he's your dad, but he is literally one of the worst human beings on the entire planet. Like he makes me sick, and we'll go into it a lot more because some of the things he says to Chris,
and even to the question that Merce asked, the kind of gun that he had, that's the kind of gun that we usually see Nazi officers in the Holocaust camps.
Yeah,
they usually have those type of guns.
I thought it looked Germanish, but I wasn't sure.
It's a German type of pistol. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that's usually the gun that you see. And it's funny enough that that's the gun that you kind of see, and that's the gun that's used to kill him, because that's a very popular gun in a Holocaust type situation camp. And everything like that. You see it in so many movies. And then
I actually have a picture of that gun because it kind of looks like a Ruger, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just the irony of that's the gun that killed you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I like the fact that kind of
a gun used by bigots was used to kill a bigot. Loved it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I like that.
And shout out to James Gunn. Not really, because I won't give him credit for it, but it was this Black History Month. It was great to see the White Dragon and his hooded friends get killed. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was like, woo!
Yeah, but we'll get there. I don't want to talk about it too much because there are some things that I wanted to talk about once we get there. But real quick, after that, we see the police are coordinating their efforts. They went after Myrn. They went after Harcourt, and I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen here? They tie. So Chris figures out that White Dragon is tracking him through the helmet, takes off the helmet, attaches it to a fucking raccoon, which I thought was hilarious. And I love that exchange between Chris and John where they're talking about like they didn't realize like how violent a raccoon was gonna be. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
He's like, that's kind of the expectations I had if a person grabbed a raccoon.
Yeah, so that was absolutely hilarious. And then it cuts to something really, really serious, right? So we cut to Myrn, we cut to the police breaking into the Butterflies, breaking into his hotel room. He tie wraps a walkie so that Adebayo and Harcourt and everyone else can hear everything that's happening while it's going on. The police barge in. He kills as many of them as he can. He tells them it was an honor working with all of you. It was an honor to have you all on my team. And they just shoot him up, the Goth Butterfly that took over Detective Sophie shoots him like 4 times in the heart, and then when his Butterfly comes out, she fucking crushes him. I was like, man, that was really, really, really brutal. And then you could see her partner, the Butterfly that was in her partner, was like, you just murdered him. So I have a question for you guys, and Steve, I'll start with you. Do you think that this could cause some of the other Butterflies to switch to Myrn's Butterfly's cause and like to go against the Queen? Like, what do you think? And then I'll toss it to you, Abe.
I'm not sure if it'll call, a lot of them will, but there's a reason that particular Butterfly, you know what I'm saying, you murdered him. Like, you know what I'm saying, that line alone is going to let you know that somebody is going to switch. It's probably going to be him because he's the paid actor. He's not an extra. So he will probably be the one that have the switch or whatever. He'll do something like, to let them destroy the cow or something like that. But yeah, like he noticed, like he's like, yo, you just straight up murdered him. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like one of those ones where you thought like, you know what I'm saying, you heard him out or anything like that. You just straight up killed him. And even like when she straight up kills the Myrn in general, she's like, how do you know about the cow? He's like, I'll never tell. She's like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like didn't even let him finish it and just kills him. And I'm just like, yo, she didn't want to hear no bullshit. I want to answer. You didn't even gonna give me one. All right, cool. Like we moving on.
And this is where it comes back to this being war, right? Like, yes, that was one of her people, but he was a defector, right? Like, what do you do with defectors? He's giving away privied information. Like, he's literally using the mindset and everything of this human to go against their entire cause. And if he succeeds, they could lose their entire race. So it is war, but it is still fucked up, right?
Yeah. So she didn't even know that he was a butterfly, technically, when she just first bap.
That's true, yeah.
She's just like, how do you know about the cow? And as soon as he's like, I'll never tell, she's like, ah, fuck. Like and what's crazy is how she's the Goth Butterfly that's in the Peacemaker jar. And she's like, peace. And she's drawing on the thing like, please just let me.
Again, it tells you what exactly, how are we supposed to feel about these butterflies? And because even Golf herself, well, I forgot the name of the officer because we should stop calling her Golf, but the Queen Butterfly, she is the Queen Butterfly, or, they are the Queen Butterfly. What is it that you're trying to accomplish here? The fact that you're not like outright trying to murder, but then again, you were because remember we got those scenes where you vibing with Eagly and Chris, you getting high with the gang, okay, you with the vibes, and then it's like, oh nah, we gonna get on Peacemaker's ass and we gonna come for the whole team.
It's weird because like think about it, when the jar breaks, the closest mouth to her is Vigilante and Peacemaker. She flies around, so she doesn't go straight for them.
So I think that was strategic. Don't mean to cut you off, but I think that was strategic, right? Why going to the bodies of two wanted people instead of going into a detective that has like sway with the police? You know what I mean? So I think that was all strategic. Go into the detective, use the detective's police resources in order to release more butterflies, which is what we see at the end of episode 6. So that's how I took it. But
Okay, because in my mind I'm thinking she's cold-blooded killer, or Goff's a cold-blooded killer the way just murked Mern mid-sentence, like fuck humans. You know what I'm saying? And then he finds out that it's a butterfly or whatever. But I'm thinking if you cold-blooded killer the way you just killed Mern's character, I would think that you would do that to Peacemaker, just be like, oh fuck it, I'm going in Peacemaker because it's the closest body, it's my opportunity to get inside of a body. That's what I would think. But to your point, yeah, you're right. It's police officers. And then immediately after though, the butterfly comes out, she grabs it and she squishes. She says his name, Alaklat or something like that.
Some shit.
Something crazy like that. It was like, you could have just asked to join our side, and she just crushes him. And it's just like, and she even says to him, he says, you're a murderer. And you're like, well, he's a soldier. These other dudes are just losers, and they're not going to be able to figure out how to do this without him. So we needed to take care of this problem. It's not one of those things where we should give him a chance to make contact with them again. We have to do this because, like we've been saying this entire episode, this is war. I need to take out, intel, pretty much. Like, this is a head intel. Let's go. You got to go.
Yeah, man. Like, I love everything the way this episode plays out. Like, James Gunn is just, him and his team, they're just fucking killing this shit right now. But so we cut back to Harcourt and Adebayo. They find Mern's body, and you can just see like how like completely heartbroken Harcourt is. And because she lost a teammate, and you can tell like this is why she compartmentalizes, she shuts herself off from everyone, because when she feels really hard, man. Like, even for this butterfly, she was like, this was a member of our team and he literally died in her arms, right? So that was fucking crazy. Judo Master breaks in, kicks Harcourt, and Adebayo. What does he say? I'm back, bitches.
I'm back, bitches. he comes back immediately. Like, it's like we're having a moment here, and he's just like, I'm back. Get ready. Run my fade again on site every time I see you.
Yo, Harcourt held her own though. Like, I thought that fight was pretty dope. So, Abe, tossing it to you real quick. Like, what did you think about the fight between Harcourt and Judo Master?
Boy, we needed to see her. Look, Jeridel Banks can't keep beating everybody's ass, right? But also, we're at this point where Harcourt is not just fighting for herself anymore. She's fighting for revenge too. So that already gives you an extra like adrenaline boost, and she wants to fuck this motherfucker up, because at the end of the day, you on the side of the niggas that took Mern out the paint. You on the side that has my friends in danger. The world is in danger. So I'm gonna come at you. You thought this shit was easy peasy lemon squeezy? Boy, we're gonna see what it is. And she was giving him that work. Not saying that Judo Master also wasn't working her, because Judo Master is still that motherfucking little ass nigga. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
She said rope-a-dope. So but she was holding back.
But Harcourt was getting hers in, and I was like, I fuck with this. This because no one else was gonna be able to do this. No one else could have had this fight, and it means so much as it did with Harcourt. She needed to have this fight, and it worked so well. It was
facts. Great. Yeah. Merc was saying Harcourt could have been a Black Widow. Like, I think that would have been dope.
Yeah.
Like, if you got the actress and like to be one of the Black Widows, that would have been pretty sick, actually.
Yeah. That fight was funny. And even like as he's like beating her up and whatever, and then she says rope-a-dope. And then we get Adebayo tasing him.
Just tasing the shit.
And she just tased him until like he stops moving. It's like, for you to tase somebody that much, you killed him. So
Hey,
this
he
is
is
what
judo master. You gotta be sure, bro.
this is like the sixth
Bro,
time he died.
Dye Beard was whacking him with a pipe in the back of the head. And I thought that motherfucker was gone. No.
And then Peacemaker shot him, bro.
So that's why I also feel like
Adebayo
he's a
shoots him,
butterfly.
yeah.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, bro, what type? Are
Judo
you,
master.
Are you,
Even Chris was saying, "Yo, these ninja guys, like, they could do all kind of crazy shit with like breathing exercises."
I read it on the internet.
Bro. The hand would love to have judo master in their ranks. That's all I gotta say.
Hey,
let's
facts,
get that.
bro.
Let's get that Marvel DC crossover. Have judo master join the ranks of the hand. Watch him go to work, boy. Watch him go to work.
Yeah, so we cut back real quick to White Dragon and the White Hoods. They find the helmet finally tied to this fucking raccoon, and then we cut back to Chris, John, and Adrian. They're listening to music. They pull over to throw the rest of the helmets because they realize that Vigilante went around like collecting like the rest of the helmets. So they stop to throw all of the helmets away, but the White Hoods already found them, right? So this is where we get this really cool fight sequence between Chris and Eagly versus the White Hoods, while fucking the Vigilantes in the woods trying to take it up piss. Like, James Gunn is just so good at humor sometimes, man. Like, that's why Guardians 2 pisses me off so much, because the humor's so terrible. But anyways, like, I kind of want to get into all of the fighting between like Vigilante, Chris, Eagly, and the White Hoods, and then we'll focus on the fight between Quiss and White Dragon, respectively. So, Steve, I want to start with you. Like, what did you think about the with Eagly helping out Chris so much with the fight against the White Hoods?
Hey, he was riding like Chris. So Chris takes off running, and then they ended up getting them down or whatever, and you're just like, oh, they're hitting them with bats and pipes. And I immediately was thinking Vigilante was gonna eventually come out of nowhere and save them. And then I guess for a quick second, you kind of forget that Eagly is always there. And Eagly just comes in, swoops in, saves the day, kind of like gets him off him a little bit for him to be able to recover and get some more blows in. I thought that was really funny. It's just like Eagly is always there for him, man. Like always, he's the one thing that he can count on is Eagly. And then what was funny was as Vigilante's fucking peeing, he's like, "Why are your pants down down to your ankles, man?" He's like, "I can't pee with clothes touching my ass or whatever." And it's just like, what? Like, you have an excuse for every, like a rebuttal for every like thing of that wrong that you do. And it just makes me think of that first episode when he's all like dancing and he's like, "What are you dancing for?" He's like, "Oh, my girlfriend's pregnant." He's like, "You got a girlfriend?"
Yeah,
like it's just like,
yeah, we're getting an abortion.
It's just quick responses to anything that somebody says is always funny. It's like, "Bro, why are your pants down?" He's like, "Oh, I can't pee with clothes touching my ass." It's like, bro, what? like you just pulled that out of nowhere. But I like that they stay true to that, to him doing stuff like that throughout the whole thing. But the fighting and everything like that, I really appreciated that fact that they were fighting and they're getting it in. And even like the White Dragon could easily just fly to the area straight and just jump right in immediately. But they let us have like a moment where Eagly could have their fight and things like that. And then I guess since we're not doing White Dragon and Chris, do we count the White Dragon when Eagly's flying towards the White Dragon? And
and then he slaps him,
he slaps him and shit. And I was just
bro,
like,
did you think he killed Eagly?
Yeah, bro. Well, I thought, so this is the reason why I didn't think he killed him, but I thought that Eagly was definitely like out because he could have used the little blast. Eagly's flying straight towards him. He could have chewed. So him slapping it, it was like, okay. And that could be, you can't show somebody cold-blooded murder of animal, I guess. Well, no.
Even though they ran a chainsaw through a
gorilla. Yeah, I just was about to say they
murdered a gorilla.
But it's an eagle, that's, the nation's bird. But it's just, but I was just like, this eagle is flying straight towards him. He could just blast him, phase him out, and that could have been it. But he kind of just slaps him away. And I'm just like, yo, that's cold. You know what I'm saying? So, but that whole scene, I thought that was like really like kind of one of those things where it kind of reminded me of was the Halloween at the end when they finally get Michael Myers. They're all
Yeah.
beating him with the bat, thinking that they won and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, these are townspeople.
Yo,
One of
great
my
pull,
favorite
bro.
scenes in Halloween
pull.
Kills.
I
They thought
was
they
like-
got that man.
I was like, they think they got Peacemaker down. Like, they really think that this is over.
Yeah, I think Eagly like rips out someone's eye and shit. Like, Abe, what did you think about Eagly coming to the rescue?
Bro, that's the only way Eagly works. When you notice when Eagly fights, he is always bloody. He's always like,
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm not just here to hurt you and to wound you. No, I'm actually gonna fuck your life up. I'm gonna take your eyes off. Emotional damage. I'm gonna take your eyes out. So I was just like, that man can't see no more. He's like he gonna die from bloodlust. Oh, you coming at the White Dragons? You know this isn't for you. Oh, you got knocked around. You're not dead though, because had he blasted him, yeah, but he didn't. He just slapped him. I was like, all right, you cool.
Yeah,
but I'm like, Eagly. That's why, again, what Leroy mentioned earlier. Headcanon wise, in my head now, Eagly is the reincarnation of Keith, and I'm rolling with brothers. Bad boys for life, yo, brothers for life. We ride together. We die together. That's Eagly and Chris right now. You feel me? Loved it though.
Yeah. So let's get into the fight between Chris and White Dragon, right? So White Dragon is beating the shit out of Chris, and he's telling him, 40 years ago, God challenged me like he did Abraham, but he was too weak to listen. And talking about the fact that he knew he was unclean from the moment he was born, listening to devil music, talking about the fact that he was having sex with women outside of his race, men,
and boys. And men,
men shaving, killing his
so
brother,
it goes back
all
to
of this
what
shit.
you mentioned before, JB, when you were like, "Nah, I think he's mine." I was like, "They didn't say, but I wouldn't be surprised." Now we know. Yeah,
right.
He's fine. So there we go.
Right. Yeah. So all of this stuff, just like all of it, and then blames him for killing his son. Like, it's so fucked up. Like, White Dragon's the worst parent possible. Like, this guy is just the worst, and you can see that Chris's upbringing was just a byproduct of this extremely terrible person. But then Vigilante jumps up, like, right as White Dragon is about to blast Chris in the face. And this is where John Cena does incredible acting again, with no dialogue, just his face. Like, he still, again, can't believe that his dad is about to shoot him, right? Mm-hmm. So, Vigilante stabs him in the neck, tries to like destroy the armor a little bit so that he can't use the gauntlets. He throws Vigilante, and we think that Vigilante's about to get shot, but then, Econo Goat shows up with the P90, kills all of these guys. It was so fucking dope. Mm-hmm. And then we go back to the one-on-one fight between Chris and White Dragon, right? And Chris is just punching him repeatedly, telling him, no, you killed Keith. And I am a piece of shit for following you and listening to you for all of these years and not killing you in your sleep. And White Dragon's like, again, running back to the beginning of the episode, telling him you punched like a girl, right? And that sends Chris over the fucking edge. He grabs the gun, right? And White Dragon's telling him, go ahead, shoot me, fucking pussy. I know you can't do it. And then he start calling him, all kinds of different words that we're not going to say on the show here. And then he's telling him, like, I control you mentally. I'm in here. Whether I kill you or not, you will never, ever be able to get rid of me. And Chris fucking shoots him. Like, this is something that we talked about since the beginning. It's going to get to a point where Chris is going to have to kill him. Mm-hmm. Like, his father is just the worst, and he's going to have to fucking kill him. So, Abe, I want to start with you. What did you think about this exchange between Chris and August that led up to Chris shooting his father?
It was necessary. Again, this moment, this was a moment of reckoning between the two that needed to happen. They needed to have, because before, Chris had always been like, all right, Dad, just bow his head and take it as is, He wouldn't combat with his dad. Remember when I think it was the first or second episode, he started with his dad and made him laugh. He's like, you beat that motherfucker, right? And it's like, or no, it's like, yeah, he did. Don't tell me he shot you.
Yeah, don't tell me that's the guy that shot you. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, Dad, that was classified. Always deferring, right? But here he had this moment where it's like, yeah, you can continue that trend of deferring, or you can do something about it, especially since from Chris's perspective, his father just killed Eagly. And we know how much Eagly means to Chris. So it was a matter of like, all right, you're at a crossroads. Do you continue down the path of deferring to your dad and just, be like, yeah, that's my dad at the end of the day. Like, he may be wrong about some things. Something that we've been constantly seeing built up, because this is not the first, when he had conversations with like Adebayo and others, and Vigilantes, like, yeah, my dad does this, but he's still my dad, right? I still love him. Or do you finally stand up and become the man and take that step as the man that you are, that is like, yo, the sins of my father are not about to be the sins of the son. I am not an asshole like my dad. I am not racist like my dad. I am not insensitive like my dad. I am someone different. I do not need to be chained by these ignorant shackles that my dad has put on me all my life. I do not need to be continuously. Chris already blames himself so much for Keith. You don't need your dad doing that, especially when, Chris, you're right. And it's tough to say. It's not his fault, but it is his fault. But it's not really his fault. It's Augie's fault. And like you mentioned, JB, Augie has been deflecting accountability like a motherfucker. Nah, right here, right now, Chris, you have to make a stand. And he did. And he did what he had to do. So I appreciated this moment for what it was, for real. I appreciated this moment.
I really appreciated the fact that Chris pulled the trigger, because there was this pause and he was like listening to him talk shit and things like that. And it felt like it was going to be a moment where Vigilante shoots. And it's like he took care of it again, like he did in the other episode. And it felt like we were going to get that again, where Chris wasn't going to be able to do it. And he was just going to be too emotional to do it and things like that. But he actually did it. And I really appreciated that they let him pull the trigger and it wasn't Vigilante doing it for him. I really appreciated that.
When I saw it the third time, I was like, even Chris was surprised that he pulled the trigger, Like he knew what he was doing. He knew what he needed to do, but he still just shot his dad in the fucking head, right? So it's all like an emotional roller coaster with all of this. Even though, White Dragon's a terrible person, he still only sees his father, right? People tend to want to see the good in their abusers after a while. Stockholm Syndrome's a bitch, bro.
a child's love is really, really pure. And I don't think people really understand that. Like, there's people that don't have their fathers in their lives and they're 34 years old and then they go seek their biological father and stuff like that. So a child's love is like so pure that you'll never find that in anything. And like, he loves his dad. His dad is the worst person that ever, he's ever met. But for some reason, he's just like, I feel bad that I just killed my dad, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that gave me.
And then we cut to another really good moment between Harcourt and Adebayo in the hotel. Adebayo is helping her patch up her Harcourt's wounds, and Harcourt's like, what did you do before this? And she tells her, like, I ran a dog shelter. Like, we lost funding and my mom helped me get this job, right? And this just shows like the incredible manipulation by Amanda Waller, because she knew what her daughter was getting into, but in Waller's head is like, well, this is great initiation, she might like the job, I might be able to convince her to stick around, instead of seeing that her daughter isn't built for this life, she doesn't want this life. Waller is just an evil person. And my girlfriend actually made like a really funny joke. It was just like, it's interesting to think about Amanda Waller actually laying down with a man and creating a child. And I was like, you know what? Probably not. She's probably like a surrogate. You know what I mean? She's just like, I want a kid. I'll just get a surrogate and like a random sperm donor. But I can't imagine Waller having sex. I just can't.
Look, if she did, she had that man chained up, was whipping him and all that jazz. Like, she was a dominatrix. There we go. She was a dominatrix for sure.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Harcourt. And Harcourt is like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, I got this. And Adebayo's like, yo, Adebayo, you know, And
And
if
then
you're a dominatrix and you need some loving for Valentine's, you can talk to me. I'm not gonna say you can dominate me, but we could talk about it.
Yeah, hit up Abe. The link tree is in the description. Hit him.
It
Hit him
is
in the
Valentine's
DM.
Day weekend, I guess.
Let me spoil you a little bit. You feel me?
That's enough tequila.
Yeah, right. So Hardcore gets a call from John. They rush to this vet place where we talked about it before, but Vigilante's about to kill these 3 people. And Economos is like, do we really have to kill them? And this is another really great moment between Harcourt and Adebayo. Harcourt looks over to Adebayo and then she's like, you know what? We don't have to. Let's tie them up, because if we lose to the butterflies, everything is all lost anyway. So it doesn't fucking matter. So it was really, really good growth for this character, watching Harcourt like show like compassion for human life and just doing it for her teammates, right? Like they're actually like becoming a family. I really, really like this, right? So Adebayo is going to go call her wife, let her know that she's about to come home. And then we get this really cool moment between Chris and Eagly, right? Chris is on his knees praying to God, begging, please don't take Eagly away from me. And Eagly wakes up, gives him this hug, and Adebayo finally sees it, and we get the flashback from episode 2.
Episode 2, yeah.
Episode 2, where Chris was telling Adebayo that Eagly hugged him, and Adebayo sees this as potentially like a sign, a miracle, that she should be here. She is in the right place at the right time to help. So, Abe, I'll toss it to you first. Like, what did you think about Chris and Eagly's moment here, and Adebayo's revelation that she should stay and help?
For me, Chris and Eagly was typical. I expected this. Like, we've seen, this was a constant. This was something that we knew was bound to happen. This is nothing in the relationship has changed. So I don't have much to comment about that. But in terms of Adebayo's like reaction to it, all right, this is where I felt I wasn't satisfied, because she saw this and then elected to call her wife and be like, oh my God, you won't believe what I just saw. And I'm like, shorty, you've been contemplating, you've been struggling with the idea of like, yo, I've been wrong. And your next action when you witness this touching moment is to call your wife and be like, oh my God, saw an eagle hug a nigga. Oh my God. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, that's such a relationship thing to do, though, because I mean, if I saw an eagle hugging a human, I'm taking a picture, I'm calling my girl immediately. This is a crazy shit.
In my opinion, no, it should have been like, yo, that should have told you that, again, you were definitely wrong in setting up Chris, but you should have waited to apologize right then and there. Not call your girl, be like, yo, guess what I just saw? And then we get the apology later.
I agree with that 100%.
That's what didn't run with me, because I'm like, nah, because it's not like, oh, this was just because I disagree with that statement that you said, JB, where it's like, oh, this is a revelation she was in the wrong. No, she knew she was in the wrong, because she'd been struggling with it since jump. Since beginning, she always felt like, oh, I shouldn't. And keep in mind, she was always the one of the group who would take up for Chris. Who'd be like, hey, y'all need to understand, blah, 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 all this, that, and the other. So it was just like, yo, you should apologize. Like, this further cements how wrong you were. Nah, you decided to call up your girl and be like, yo, guess what I just saw? I wasn't fucking with that moment. I was disappointed in that case.
Steve, what are your thoughts on this?
For me, I don't see a problem with her calling her wife right there. The issue is it made me think that they offcut or they off-screen something where she was going to talk about the butterfly mission. Because every time she's talked to her, she hadn't talked about anything that's any kind of recon mission or anything like that. So she talked to him about the Eagly thing and stuff like that. So I felt like she was like, this is one last mission. We're about to do this. And I felt like she was going to tell. But it was, what I'm saying? We didn't get to see it. Maybe it's off screen. I'm not sure. But I don't know why. I'm still stuck on this. I think her wife is a butterfly. I still think that. I don't know why I think that, but I think that our wife has been taken over by a butterfly. And I'm just like, be careful, tread lightly with this information. That's what I was thinking the entire time. But I didn't have a huge problem with her making that phone call, because if you're in a relationship with someone you've been with for a long time, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to tell somebody immediately what you just saw. It was something amazing. An eagle is literally hugging a person. Like, and he mentioned it, so he's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? She's like, wow, guess what? You know what I'm saying? So that was one of them things you tell your partner, your significant other, immediately. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things, especially if it's somebody that you have that type of relationship with, where every time something crazy happens, guess what? You know what I'm saying? You get on the phone, guess what? Yo, I got to tell you. So I didn't have a real problem with that at all.
And I love what Abe said, because that kind of shifted my mindset on this a little bit, because I don't have a problem with it, but this was the appropriate moment for Adebayo to apologize, because she's seeing Chris in this really raw and really like vulnerable position, and she's seeing yet again the nice person that he actually is. And it should have come to her again, yeah, I just screwed over this actually pretty nice guy. This was the moment to apologize.
But do you take that moment away from him? Like, he's having an intimate moment, even though like it's an animal. The animal is hugging him, so
yeah. That's why I'm okay with it.
Walked in and interrupted,
right?
But I'm saying that, okay, here's a moment where you're seeing this. It's like you wait, and when he's done, you apologize. Again, we didn't get the apology until the end of the episode. It's like so much has happened. No, that apology should have been earlier. There was no reason to wait.
It could have even been as they were like grouping up and they were like, Harco is the leader. That could have been like, and you know what?
Well, no, I feel like it didn't need to be in a public setting, because then you get into the area of like, oh, is this just public posturing to look good?
Right.
It needed to be an intimate moment, and there we go. There was a chance there to be like, yo, I fucked up. And I know I fucked up. And I'm so sorry. Like, I thought I was doing not the right thing, but I thought I was doing what I had to do. But I realized, like, yo, I was not being fair. Instead, it was like, you know, because for a moment, until we get the actual apology, one could think like, oh, we're back to being, we are actually a cohesive team. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody fuck with each other now. And then when she apologizes, Chris is like, I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Yeah, I just don't want to turn into a butterfly.
Yeah, she should have apologized earlier. That's my issue with that. She should have apologized. She didn't know for that.
I agree, but it plays out like this because we're gonna get that moment in the finale. There's gonna be a deeper moment where they'll reconcile and they'll actually like become friends again. So we'll get that later on. But yeah, now that you say that, Abe, I'm like, maybe if I was doing it, I would have written it in that moment so that when they do come together as a team, there's no animosity, right? Like all of that shit has already been put aside. Now we're a full cohesive unit. Final mission, get it done, right? But I'm not the writer. I'm not James Gunn. I'm sure he'll come up with something great for it. Like we've already been alluding to, Adebayo comes back to the team. This is where John's like, how do we do this without Myrn? And Adebayo's like, we already have the perfect person to lead the team. And it is Harcourt. Like, you know, without a doubt, out of the people there, it's definitely Harcourt. She comes up with the plan. They're going to, you know, go to the ranch, wherever they're keeping the teleporter, wherever they're keeping the cow, kill the cow, destroy the teleporter. We get the plan. And then we have this really cool exchange between Vigilante and Economos, where he's like, yeah, we're gonna, you know, go in like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And John's like, dude, you do know they died at the end of that movie, right? It's like, well, do we know that for sure? Because it kind of just fades to black with the hurl of bullets. They could have just jumped over the bullets. And it's just like, really, Adrian? They jumped over the bullets. Really?
Did you really think that's what fucking happened? And of course he thought that's what fucking happened, because it's fucking Vigilante.
I love that they've never strayed away from the fact that he really is a psychopath. Like he is the textbook definition of a psychopath. And I love
Because
that they've
he's like-
never strayed away from it.
He's like, we should just kill him. And then they're like, well, let's just tie him up. And he's like, well, don't use duct tape because then it's like, bro, what?
So you're telling me that you're more compassionate about duct tape instead of like brutally murdering people? Yes.
Look, I don't know what this says about me. Don't read too much into it, but I understand the thinking. It's like, okay, if I kill them, they out their misery. But if I'm going to have them still live, they might as well be held captive comfortably. You feel me? So I understand it. I understand it, Vigilante. Right. Either you take him out or you at least make him comfortable. Ain't no point. He doesn't believe in torture like that. He doesn't believe in like, let me
right, just kill him.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not, take that as you will, but I'm not mad at it.
So they jump into the vet's van that says, pause a moment. Thought that was a hilarious fucking name. Economos is driving. Like we were already talking about, Adebayo tries to apologize to Chris, and he tells her, like, I can't wait for this mission to be over, so I never have to see your stupid, dumb face ever again. And again, just the way, and this is John Cena's incredible acting, because you can see just in his facial expressions, he doesn't actually mean that. He's just really, really hurt in that moment.
It's like a big kid.
Right. Right. So we get that moment, and what's her name? Danielle Brooks, right?
Yeah.
Like she also does an incredible job in that moment where she hears it, and you can see the pain, like she was about to cry in that moment, because she does feel hurt. She know what she did was wrong, right? So I thought this was an incredible episode. John talks about, like he turns up the rock music, is like there's never a wrong time to rock, right? Like this reoccurring bit in the entire episode. And Harcourt smiles yet again because she's with her family, right? Going on to do the mission. And then we finally get the reveal of the cow. We get the reveal of the cow. We get the reveal of the teleportation device. And this cow is fucking huge. It is straight out of something from Starship Troopers. It's crazy.
Shout out to Vash, because that's not a... Vash was like, it's going to be a type of cow. I was like, no, it's not. It's not going to be a cow. Last week we were arguing. So shout out to Vash. It's not a fucking cow.
Because, I mean, it is possible that it could have been a butterfly that inhabited a cow that was somehow able to, like, make this fluid. But this makes more sense, that it's literally, like, this, like, their planet's version of a cow that they're getting. It has
udders.
Right, that has udders, right. So yeah, the cow design is crazy. I apologize for not having an image of it. I wasn't able to find one in time. But yeah, the cow reveal, the design is fucking crazy. Like, Abe, what did you think about the cow design?
That motherfucker was ugly as hell,
yeah, bro.
That
Fucking hideous,
ugly
bro.
as hell.
It looked like a larva, kind of like.
Yeah.
Bro,
which makes sense.
But I was like, all right, well, shit. Like, we here now. We already dealt with Starro. While that is a starfish, it was massive as hell. It's an alien creature. Mm-hmm. We got the butterflies on a miniature scale, alien creature. Let's show some massive. You know what I thought of? And for those who watch Doctor Who, you'll get it. Remember that episode in the first season of the Return of Doctor Who with Chris Eccleston, when they go to, they're on that satellite 5. The first time they're on satellite 5, and they're like, yo, the Doctor's like, he might even set back. What's going on? Why is there all this heat going up to the top? There's all this AC going up to the top unit, which is making it hot on the lower floors, and you see that there's a motherfucking ugly ass alien. That's what I saw when I saw the cow, and I was like, "Ooh!" And then I'm like, "Oh, not only do you have two big eyes, you got hella eyes." I was like, "I can't wait till I hope they kill your ass." I mean, you're just an animal. You're just cattle.
Yeah, I hope they don't kill it. I really hope that they just use the teleporter to send it to another planet or some shit. Yeah. Like, I don't want them to kill it.
So you rather just be like, let's send you off to some random spot where you will eventually die, because we don't know where.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I'd rather be responsible that way. I know, rather than be like, damn.
It's like, well, I didn't kill you.
Is that cow still alive? Did I send it to a planet where it can survive? I have no idea.
That's a good compare. I'm typing to Merc. He said it reminds me of Silky from the Teen Titans Go cartoon. But so I do have some questions about this episode, and I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Okay,
When Mern passed away, right? He dies, and then the butterfly crawls out of his mouth and tries basically to find somewhere else to go, right? In my opinion, when the butterflies were coming in, Mern shoots a couple of them. He didn't do headshots. Why didn't those butterflies crawl out of them?
Waste of screen time.
True.
No,
like realistically, I'm with you, but realistically, the answer is just it's a waste of screen time.
Well, I don't. But the reason why I'm saying that is because right after they leave,
he could have
Harcourt and Adebayo walk straight in, so that butterfly could have crawled out. You see what I'm saying? And
that's a good point.
That's why I was like,
every time we've battled those who have the butterflies, like when we saw the massacre at the plant, you see, aside from the explosion, you see Chris go for headshots only.
Yeah,
Martin knows, so why didn't he go for headshots?
That's what I'm wondering.
I feel like it could either be like, yo, were they dead? Or more so, it's more of like, hey, that's just an oversight we decided to gloss over. Because at the same time, it's like, oh, not Murren coming in, headshots. It's like, all right, so you nasty with it. You feel me? You nasty with it.
Yeah, he hits a couple with some headshots, but yeah, there's like two of them, Steve, that he hits in the chest.
Chest wounds.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Because I know the only reason I asked that is because like Harcourt and Adebayo walk straight in. They walk past those bodies. I'm thinking they were going to have to like try to kill the butterflies before they tried to get into them or something like that.
Yeah, really good point. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably just an oversight, you know? It's just like, well, I mean, I guess this doesn't matter. We're not going to get rid of these characters. They have to be in the finale. They're dead. We're just supposed to believe it. You know, it is what it is type shit. You know, script, you know? But I thought this episode was incredible. Like I said at the beginning, before we started the review, Peacemaker just keeps getting better and better and better and better. Episode 6 literally had me on the edge of my seat for the entire runtime. This was another incredible episode. Just the exchange between Chris and his dad, finding out more about what happened between him and his brother, the camaraderie between the team, some of them being pulled apart while some are being pulled closer together. This show is brilliantly written, man. Like, it's such a well-written show, and I can't wait for the finale. The show has been doing incredible numbers everywhere, so it's like I really hope they get a season 2, and I really hope it's good. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see, you know, how Peacemaker season 1 ends. Do we end it on a cliffhanger? Do we get finality and it's just like, well, we'll see what happens, and then we'll get a new mission? Will Amanda Waller be in the finale? There's a lot of questions that I have, and I can't wait to review it with you guys. So, Steve, I'll start with you. Let me get your final thoughts on Peacemaker episode 7.
Final thoughts. This is now my third favorite episode. My favorite episode is episode 6, and then and my second favorite episode is probably the one episode 3. When he's jumping from balcony to balcony. That shit was just that shit was hilarious. But then this would be my third favorite episode. I really, really enjoyed this episode. Finding out, you know what I'm saying, about his past, about his brother Keith's death. That was just really, really a really, really impactful moment. I really, really think from where we started from the episode of, you know what I'm saying, basically the death of his brother, and then, you know, the betrayal of his father, like telling him that he killed him, et cetera, to where we ended up in the end where he's still like, he feels betrayed by Adebayo. It's just one of those things where we've been dealing with that dynamic of Adebayo and Peacemaker throughout the entire series. And now Chris has gotten over his hump of his parent. So I'm assuming this next episode, obviously she's not going to kill out of her mom, but she's going to get over the hump of her parent, the turmoil of her parent. That's why I think this last dynamic will come to.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, what about you? Any final thoughts?
Look, this season finale is going to be. I'm definitely going to be watching it with a more critical eye because I want to see how you conclude this current train of thought. You know, even if it leaves off a cliffhanger, I'm fine. If it's like, yo, this story is not concluded, come back season 2, I'm cool with that. Like, we don't get a proper resolution. But with how every episode has been hitting on many levels, different areas, depending on who you want to look at and whatnot, how you want to break it down, this can't be lacking. Episode 8 can't lack. If there's any moment where it's like, if I feel any type of way, like, yeah, there was better episodes in this, to me, it's an L. It's an automatic L. I can't feel that way about episode 8. I have to feel as if like, ooh, you started tying everything, bringing them in. Loose ends are taken care of. This is really interesting here. Again, like I said, even if it doesn't lead to like, yo, we get a definitive conclusion to the butterflies and the cow, I'll still feel satisfied if you just give us everything else that's like, oh yeah, I need to come back. I need to watch season 2. I need to see what you're gonna hit us with us next. So where does this story continue from here? So that's my expectations going in. But again, like I mentioned earlier, I've enjoyed this show. I've enjoyed this show. It's been really good. It's been really enjoyable. It's been just fun to watch. It's been funny. It's had elements of humor. Even though again, sometimes the humor seems forced me, but overall good elements of humor, action, emotion, everything. I've enjoyed it so far. I'm a big fan of the Peacemaker series for sure.
Yeah, man. Very excited for the finale. If you saw the little post-credit scene thing, you would see that Chris is gonna have the Peacemaker shield during that final battle in the finale. So I'm really excited to see that. Really excited to see the team and everything you said, Abe. Like, this finale has to hit, right? There's some people that feel like, first thing off the top of my head, Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's not that many people that think the finale is as good as some of the other episodes. It can't be like that for Peacemaker. I agree with you completely, Abe. This show has been so fucking good. I need the finale to be at least on the same level as like 4, 6, 7. I need it to be on the same level. If it's not, it'll be fine, but I need it to be on that level to be like, yo, Peacemaker's a fucking like 9.5 out of 10, man. You know what I mean? Like, this show is absolutely incredible. So yeah, I can't wait for the finale. Can't wait to see what James Gunn does in the DCEU going forward, because he said he might be working on some more TV series. He might work on a movie here and there, you know, once he's done with Guardians 3, because I think he's going to be done with the MCU for a little bit. So I am very excited for this finale. Chat, guys, thank you so much on YouTube, Twitch. Thank you all of you for hanging out here in the live chat. I love talking about movies, love talking about these shows with the Council of Villains here. Abe, you started off first because you haven't been here in a while. Tell the people where they can find you online. Tell them what you're working on.
Yo, the Mad Prince is working on a lot of things. I always keep my hands busy, you feel me? But just to reintroduce myself, my name is Prince. I'm the Mad Prince. Welcome to the Madhouse. You can become a member of the Madhouse by following me on Twitch. Just look up my Twitter handle at Prince_ALAWAL. I'm actually going to stream in the next 25 minutes. So catch me live. I'm lit off the brown and the clear. You know, I've been drinking tequila and vodka. You know the vibes. You feel me? You can see me on many different podcasts, either behind the scenes or in behind the mic. You know, definitely follow OSNA podcast. Definitely check out Inside the Mind of a Blerd, my Naka Mixer. Careful for spoilers, anime lately, spicy lady. Definitely follow her on Twitch too. Otherwise, shout out to the BTC. They know who they are. Appreciate y'all for real. It's good to be back in that one of my favorite places, and we gonna grind out more fun stuff and projects coming to you soon in the next few months. Wait on it.
Yeah, real quick before you go, Steve, like, let us know what you guys want us to review after Peacemaker, because we have like a little break before like Moon Knight starts. So we could do some fun shit. We could do some fan casting. I believe it was Merc came up with a really cool idea where we could like take villains that didn't do anything wrong, that were completely right, and kind of just make arguments for those. I think that would be really, really cool when we talked about Thanos. So just let us know in the comments, DM us on Twitter, DM any of us here on the council. Let us know what you want us to do in between Peacemaker and Moon Knight. But Steve, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can follow me at ScubaSteve1428 on all social media. Follow the Blerd Mind Pod. And the Linktree there will lead you to everybody's Twitches and YouTube channels and everything that they got going on. I was on Popaholics yesterday, so hopefully that episode will be coming soon. We reviewed Book of Boba Fett. It was really, really fun. Thank y'all again, Chris and Brian, for having me on. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I think that's all we got. We're doing Melanin and cosplay this month on the Blerd Mind Pod. So any cosplayers that do cosplay, that's Black cosplayers, we're just retweeting them and giving them a different day each day of the month. And if you guys have anyone that y'all want us to, shout out, just let us know and we'll shout them out as well. But yeah, we've been having a really good time with that. So yeah,
cool. Yeah, and also consider checking out the Inside of the Mind of the Blerd Patreon. These guys are posting fucking content all the time on the Patreon, so definitely go out and check that out. I believe it starts at $2, right?
Yeah, $2, $5, and $10. And then I think we uploaded like six episodes last week. The week before that, probably like 5. Like anytime we record, we're putting it up there, whether it's gaming content, sports content, because we talk about, sports on there and stuff. We just figured that would be just good Patreon content for you guys, and just anything else. And we're even thinking about doing, Cam wants to do Don't Take This Advice. So we're just going to talk pop culture and just give advice on pop culture content, and it'll just be Patreon exclusive. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, again, consider checking out the Patreon. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to Abe's Twitch. Congratulations again on getting affiliate, man. Like, it's going to be a great journey going forward. You guys can follow me all over social media at JB Exclusive. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. I talk about movies on there constantly, talk about comics, anime constantly, so make sure you're following me on there. Any updates to the website, anything, make sure you're following us on Twitter at C4SVillains. Make sure check out the website. Steve has some articles on there. Abe has an article on there as well. We just put up an article talking about all of the Oscar nominations, the Crunchyroll Awards winners. That's all on the website. The merch store, the link is finally working. I've been working for weeks, months trying to get this shit up and running, but the merch store is finally up. The link works perfectly fine now. We got some new designs up there where one shirt says entertainment is subjective, get some help. That's one of my favorites. We got a Council of Villains t-shirt. I'm going to be making a t-shirt that says Mephisto confirmed. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to make a shirt that says Thanos was right. Got a lot of great shit coming up on the merch store, so make sure you guys stay
I'm definitely
tuned
confident that Thanos is the right shirt. I hope you have a good colorway for that, John, because I'm on that bit for real.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up for you guys. As you can see, we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. That is going to be the thing going forward. Don't quote me because I don't know what days. I don't want to plan anything definitively for every single week, but I do want to start streaming on Twitch just games now and again. I love just playing GTA and going on absolute like killing sprees. So here and there, you might see me on Twitch on the Careful with Spoilers Twitch page. Just, killing some people in GTA. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you come back next week on Villains episode 53. We'll be talking about the Peacemaker finale. And then we're going to be discussing what we're going to do between Peacemaker and Moon Knight when that drops. So yeah, make sure you guys are following us all here on all the socials. All of the links are in the description below. And we will see you guys on the next one.